live. Here is. I can't see.
Be put.
Morning,
everybody.
What up, GA?
What it is,
What's
GA?
going on?
We are here.
Oh, my widget is acting stupid. I can't see the.
Goddamn widget.
I can't see the comments in my.
Yeah, see what I be doing is I just open up the channel on another monitor.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I ended up doing. That's dumb, but it is what it is. Something happened.
Move you over here.
All right.
So it takes a little while for the comments to pop up, but
yeah, we in here.
We in here.
GA said here from the start for the first time ever.
First.
No, Benny was still first.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So
might as well go do the intro. Get this going.
Yeah.
Me. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. This year has been ass.
I mean,
but at the same time, it's been entertaining as hell.
Yeah, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot
this year.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean,
personally, publicly, all that. Yeah.
Yo, when this shit all started with Cat Williams with that, we will always refer to 2024 as the curse of Cat Williams.
Yeah. That's what happened.
What up, Greg?
There's nothing around. There's no way around it. It's exactly what happened.
It's the curse of Cat Williams, bro.
So this is going to be a wrap-up show. But before we get into that, I gotta I had seen something over the timeline that had scuffed my Timbs a little bit.
Oh, damn.
Not even a little bit. Actually a lot, because fame is a hell of a thing.
Hell of a drug.
You know, the different levels of fame and all that other good shit. They have sometimes, if you aren't careful, they will have you being a bit delusional.
Yeah.
Bit delusional.
Yeah.
So, Jaleel White. For those who don't know who Jaleel White is, it's not because you don't know who he is. You might just not
know him by his name, right?
Yeah. Jaleel White played Steve Urkel in the show Family Matters. Huge show in the 90s.
It was.
You saw Urkel's face everywhere.
Huge character.
Yeah, crossovers with different shows, commercials, all types of shit. Mega popularity.
I ain't gonna lie, my favorite role of his was Sonic.
I mean,
he was the voice of Sonic. I thought that cartoon was dope.
Yeah. But especially for back then, a lot of people might not know that because it wasn't as the information wasn't as readily available and all that other type of stuff. All right, so he put out a book. I don't remember exactly when it came out. I don't remember if it came out last year or.
Well, he did a rollout for it too, because I know he was on Breakfast Club recently.
Okay, so it's coming out this year. Okay, because that's what this interview that he was doing was from. It was from the rollout, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember the publication. I might have it in my notes. I don't remember the name of the nigga that interviewed him. More words from him later. And you've seen it over this year I would purposely not directly quote people who I was not giving any benefit of the doubt to.
Right.
The only reason that I am going to be partially quoting Jalil is that these are the points that I'm going to be debunking.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have quoted his ass either.
Right. Well, the thing about him is, and this is one of the things that I've come to realize about a lot of child actors. It's not all of them, but it's a lot significant number of them. They live in these one of two things: these super sheltered lives when they're young, or super dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Because of the parents seeing the kid as a cash cow, and instead of them remaining parental, the well-being, of the child coming first.
What up, McKenna?
And shit. What up, McKenna? Instead of them doing that, they lose themselves. And since the child is under a certain age where their cognitive abilities is not up at the top, they don't have any mechanism to prevent the parent from just completely being ass, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a cycle where it's a loop where the parents are being ass, and now the kids ass, and
they
parents
don't
ass, and then the kids ass.
For nothing.
Exactly. So a lot of that, I actually expect fuckery.
Sure.
From them, and I'm surprised when I don't see it.
Yeah, and to be fair, to shoot some bail, it's mostly not their fault.
No.
Like, you are who you're made into.
Oh my goodness, that's a bar.
Unfortunately, that's a bar.
That's a bar.
Once you get older, you can do things to try to fix that.
Absolutely.
But two things can be true. It is simple, and it is not easy.
Facts.
It is not easy at all. GS says, yeah, that and them kids don't go to normal school no more. They have tutors.
Right.
Childhood is completely disrupted. That is a fact.
Yeah.
It's simply a fact. So here's some things that he said. Again, I don't have the full quote because fuck him, but I want to. These are some things he said. Being a part of the TGIF brand separates you from blackness. Blackness has been treated as a monolithic experience. If it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. If there's a poll of favorite black shows, Martin and Living Single are there. I know we're coming in last. But if you do a poll about favorite family shows, suddenly Martin's not in there all of a sudden. We rank really high. It's interesting how we look at ourselves even as black folks. Okay, so
to be clear, he's talking about shows like Living Single. I guess that's a Boys in the Hood-esque.
Right. So
what the fuck? Girlfriends must be a hood. What the fuck?
Wait, I can't get my camera back. I moved too much.
His camera, he broke it. I can't
get my camera back. Hold on.
He broke it.
There we go. So, first of all, I want to be clear on this.
The Jeffersons.
Shut up. What I'm about to say is absolutely no shade to Family Matters.
Right.
It was a show that I watched and I liked.
I enjoyed.
I
still watch it every now and then when it comes on.
Sure. I've seen way too many people downplaying what it was.
Facts.
I'm not going to do that. I saw a tweet thread, and the dude was like, so am I imagining things, or y'all really didn't like Family Matters? And I'm like, no, they're just overreacting to what Jalil said.
That's all they do. They're basically they're re-envisioning history out of their anger at what he implied. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. You're fronting if you're saying you didn't watch.
Yeah.
Really.
Here's the thing. In similar situations, I would normally begrudge those people.
Yes.
In this case, no. Fuck him. Second, I want to say that this was a clip. That being said, I feel like I listened to enough to get the point that he was continuously trying to make.
Right.
He kept trying to hammer in a very specific point. And I think I listened to enough of it to get the point he was trying to make.
And you've heard others attempt to make similar stuff.
Right.
And then,
right.
I don't that's the other thing that we gotta stop people from, like, as soon as they start. Is this idea that, you just haven't heard the bro. No. We live in a social media a reality where people are online under news feeds, YouTube videos, and comment threads and social media, making all kinds of arguments about all kinds of things. Thanks. Stop acting like these arguments are somehow hidden away in no, the fuck they're not. I've seen it. I've seen it with the left and I've seen it with the right. I've seen with the right attempt to say they just don't want our stuff to get out there when Fox News literally has a larger market share of an audience base than every single one of them damn left wing. It's not. Right. Stop it. Stop acting like that you got this super secret. You don't. We've heard it. We've seen it.
We've heard
it.
Come on, and there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing.
So not just that the reach is there, right? But the argument has probably been made before.
It's been made. There's been attempts to either debunk it, and it maybe has been debunked, or it has been weakened. Like so parts of it could be true, but the parts that you're adding spices to try to make it more legitimate has had that Jenga piece pulled out and shit. Like there's come on, man.
Thanks.
Stop it.
Third, I'm mad that the dude interviewing him didn't check his bullshit. Yeah. Again, it was a clip, so maybe at some point he did. Mm-hmm. And if so, I take that back.
Right.
Fourth, I guess it's time for me to check this nigga. First claim, TGIF separates you from blackness. So,
Cap.
For those who don't know what TGF was, it was basically a Friday night family programming block that aired on ABC for decades.
Right.
While it is true that the vast majority of shows in this lineup were white shows,
yes,
there are two other distinctly black shows other than Family Matters that have been a part of the lineup.
Yes,
this
sir.
is Hewley's and Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yep.
The latter shows up on some of these same lists and polls that Jaleel is talking about above Family Matters.
And also, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, just to put it out there, Coop is my cousin. So we not doing no Coop slander. We not doing no Coop slander. Nah.
So it's like, that's already a strike. They're absolutely considered black shows. They are absolutely talked about.
They are 100%. What's up, Discord? They are 100%
what up?
black shows. Like what? Yo, do you realize that that on TGIF? First of all, everybody that was watching TV during that period of time watched one of those shows.
Yeah,
at least one of those shows on there. But for black people, it's a little different. It's a little different because even at that period of time, it wasn't a lot of shows dedicated to us.
Right.
So when there was one, we watched it.
Facts.
We watched it.
All facts. So that's that point. Next point. If it's not a hood story, it's not a black story. Well, let's go back to these polls that he's referencing. It is absolutely true that a lot of shows that feature the hood as a prominent backdrop show up in these lists. Yes, it's a reality of so many black people, and art often imitates life.
Facts.
That's just how that works.
Facts.
But that being said, if you hear about the best 5 black sitcoms of all time, most lists will include 3 to 5 of the following shows. Mm-hmm. Martin, Fresh Prince, The Cosby Show, A Different World, Living Single, Girlfriends, The Bernie Mac Show.
Yes. Approximately
0 of those shows feature the hood as a prominent backdrop, location, or character.
Yo, can you imagine referring to the Fresh Prince as a hood show? Yo,
like, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Most of them perpetually appear above Family Matters on these lists.
Yes. It's not because you weren't a hood show that you weren't regarded on that list. We're talking about people's actual perception and how they perceive the show in contrast with these other shows. And they're saying
was as much of a hood show. I'm sorry, Family Matters was as much of a hood show as Martin was.
Yeah.
Because if you want to go with stereotypes, where did Martin take place? In the heart of Detroit City.
Facts.
All right. So if you want to say that's a hood show, cool. But where did Family Matters take place? In the heart of Chicago.
Hold up. Chicago, the same place that's constantly being used by a bunch of fucking anti-black motherfuckers to point out how fucked up black people are. Look at Chicago.
Right.
Fuck out of here, man.
Come on,
fuck out of here.
I think
McKenna said the only time the hood was mentioned in Fresh Prince was 2 seconds in the intro.
That's funny. No, actually, to that point, I don't have an encyclopedic memory of Family Matters, but if I'm not mistaken, Family Matters probably had as many episodes that depict the hood as Fresh Prince did.
Yeah.
Like, off the top of my head, I could think of 3 for Fresh Prince. It was the one where Carlton ran to the hood because
Hold up, bro. Hold up. I got you covered. Family Matters episode Born to Be Mild features a street gang called the Dragons and includes the following plot points. The Dragons cause trouble at Rachel's place by breaking things, sexually harassing employees, and vandalizing the teen hangout after closing. Carl arrives to chase the Dragons out. Urkel goes undercover as a prospective gang member to trick them into confessing their activities. Eddie arrives with a bruised and bloody face,
his ass beat,
announcing he was ambushed by the Dragons. Carl wants to take matters into his own hands, but Urkel reminds him that he'd only destroyed much more than his career. Steve volunteers to go into the lair of the Dragons under disguise, wired. Steve keeps them busy long enough to make them confess their crimes. Carl and his partner, Lieutenant Murtaugh, barge in at the last moment to arrest them and save Steve.
Yep.
Can we stop the cat?
That's one of the episodes I remember.
Can we stop?
Like I said, if I had to, there's a very specific reason why there might not be a bunch more, and I'm gonna get to that later. But if I'm not mistaken, there's 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
And with Fresh Prince, there's about 3 or 4.
Laura got robbed of her tennis shoes.
Right.
Yeah. What?
So in Fresh Prince, there was like the episode where Will Beck Carton couldn't survive in the hood. That was one.
Yeah.
There was the episode where
what's up with your camera? This nigga broke it.
I don't know. There was one episode where the Banks family went back to the hood to volunteer and help out.
Yes.
There was one episode, even though I don't count this one I'm about to say, but if you want to count it, sure. There's the episode where Carlton gets shot. That wasn't about right. And I'm pretty sure the person that shot him, again, not to say that white people don't exist in the hood, but as far as we're talking about TV shows and shit, especially in the 90s.
Yeah, especially
wouldn't have gotten, unless he was the Wigga character.
And when Will got shot.
And Will got shot.
And he wanted to shoot him. Got the burner. He got the blicky. Right. He went and got the blicky. Sean P. Right. Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers.
All right, so
yo, GA said your camera having a stroke.
the next point. But if you do a poll about favorite family shows, suddenly Martin's not in there all of a sudden. We rank really high. Now, I think this was the worst point that he tried to make for 2 reasons.
They're not even the same shows, though.
One, we make up roughly 13% of the population here.
Say it again, because I think people
about 13%.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it stand to reason that if we don't overwhelmingly relate to you for whatever reason, but you are still good, that people in the 87% might like you too?
Yes, absolutely.
Call that conjecture, right? Call that conjecture. I'm fine with that. Here's the biggest problem with this particular point. The reason Martin doesn't show up on the favorite family show list is, and I am going to try to say this as slowly as I can, it is not a family show. A family show, or more specifically and applicably, a family sitcom. Mm-hmm. Is a show that focuses on the lives of a family unit while injecting comedy. None of the main characters in Martin were family until Martin and Gina got married. And that was towards the end of the show.
It's a fact.
I looked up some lists for family sitcoms. Y'all ain't as far up in all of those as you might think. In most of them that I've looked at, you're still behind shows like Fresh Prince, Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah,
which is absolutely a hood show. But
that's a hood show. It's also a family hood.
It's a family show.
Right.
Everybody Hates Chris, The Cosby Show, The Jeffersons, etc. So it's still a bunch of black shows ahead of you on those lists.
Yeah.
Like, that's not all right. So I think I can tell what's going on here.
What's going on?
Outside of the possibility of him, as in Jaleel White, being separated from blackness in his actual life, I'm sure this is just cognitive dissonance.
We forgot about Rock. Right, GA. Right.
No, I specifically tried to not say
Rock.
The shows that actually are in the hood.
Okay. But that's still family.
Yeah, facts. I left out Rock. I left out the PJs. I left out several shows that are hood centric,
right?
Specifically to make this point. But yeah, it's cognitive dissonance. You've been famous your entire life, and people who run up to you constantly talk about your character.
Yes.
But when you remove the element of you being in someone's face from the equation, what you're experiencing is what people really think about your show.
Facts.
Now, you can lie to the new people, but I was there.
And so was I.
I wasn't old enough to catch and understand all of it in real time.
I was.
Because the show debuted when I was 2.
Right.
So I wasn't old enough to catch all of it in real time. But I was old enough that by the time I did get old enough, it was all still in my memory.
Yeah.
It was a really good show that progressively got worse the more prominent your character became.
True.
That again might sound like a knock.
It's not.
It's not.
Because we've seen this before. We saw it with Good Times. We've seen this before.
Yo, the most famous example, and the example that the trope is named after, is the Fonz.
Yo, classic Happy Days. Classic fucking
when he
example,
jumped
bro.
over the shark.
Yes, yo.
Literally, the term jumping the shark is representative of a show going past its peak and it's downhill from there.
Right.
That is what has happened with so many different shows, and it's what happened with Family Matters, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
when that breakout character starts to become the uber focus of the show, you can guarantee that they're gonna ride the wave of popularity for a minute, and then the quality of that shit gonna start to degenerate. It's how it happens.
Yes. So Urkel became a series regular in season 2.
Yeah.
That was the most watched season by far. Over 4 million viewers above the next closest season, which not coincidentally happened to be the first season. Yeah. While the show was running. Yeah. Urkel fever took over. He was everywhere, and he gave the show an undeniable spark.
Facts.
But after that spark came 7 straight seasons of declining viewership. 7 straight. Not, this went down, but the next season it had a little boot. No, 7 straight seasons of declining viewership. Because the people who made the show saw the potential of the character and overextended it. The slow slowly.
You're right. This is exactly what happens in all genres.
Mm-hmm.
Happens in music.
Uh-huh.
Yo, this is where
this works. Push it. People get tired of it.
People get tired of this shit.
Sometimes it's not even because of a decline in quality.
Nope.
Sometimes people just get tired of it.
Yeah, they heard it. They heard it.
Also have a decline in quality. That's a problem.
Yo, that nigga was that era's JJ.
Yeah.
From Good Times.
The show surely became a scenario where the title was an oxymoron. The family no longer mattered, and the episodes were no longer matters of the family. What? What? That's what happened.
That was funny as fuck.
That's what happened. The family no longer mattered. The family no longer mattered, and the matters of the family were no longer important.
Oh my!
It's what happened.
Yeah.
The episode started revolving around Steve. Other characters' relationship with Steve. Other characters that Jalil would play. And other characters being Herculized.
Oh, right.
So all of that's what the show became. It was all about Jalil and Urkel. Again, let me repeat that. The show episode started revolving around Steve, other characters Jalil would play, other characters being Herculized, and other characters' relationship with Steve.
Remember he played the girl that was in love with his cousin or whatever. Myrtle Urkel.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, like yeah.
There was so many, Even
remember the nerd white boy that he was beefing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even when the episodes weren't overly inundated by the aura of Urkel, the show had another problem. It just became super fantastical and goofy.
Yeah, facts.
What started off as a spinoff of a show called Perfect Strangers and was a heartfelt, wholesome comedy focused on family dynamics started season 3 with an episode where Carl Winslow had to stay on a treadmill and keep running, else a bomb would blow. And I promise you that's one of the tamer episodes.
Yeah.
For those who think I'm exaggerating, we're about to go through some synopses. For each season, I'll tell you the synopsis for the first episode, an episode in the middle of the season, and the last episode. All right, so season 1, episode 1, The Mama Who Came to Dinner. The Winslow home is full of love and family, and now Carl's mom is moving in. So I'll give a little more context for that one because that one's not long. Mm-hmm. Basically, at the beginning of the show, you got the Winslow family, 2-income household. Her sister moves in, and now his mother is moving in. So that sets up the conflict for what would have been the entire show.
Right.
That one episode, it's good writing. It's how that's supposed to work.
Right.
You start off with a status quo, immediately interrupted, and you know that's going to be what your conflict comes from moving forward. Episode 11, The Quilt. Estelle shows off an heirloom quilt that's been in the Winslow family for more than 200 years. Despite being told not to sell the quilt at the family's garage sale, Laura accidentally does so when a museum curator offers $200 for it. Laura then goes all out to get the quilt back, using a tearful speech to soften up the stubborn curator. Estelle is impressed and lets Laura keep the quilt until it's her turn to pass it down a generation. Isn't that wholesome and heartwarming?
It is, really.
Right?
Because these quotes in here got cat hair on it.
That's funny. Episode 22. Eddie decides to enter a contest to create a music video, but his ego proves to be too much for the rest of the band, and they all decide to abandon him. So, season 1 had 2 appearances from Urkel. Just 2. Season 2, episode 1. Rachel opens a restaurant when a neighborhood hangout burns down. Season 2, episode 14. Carl drags Eddie along on an ice fishing trip to Lake Winnemuck. Tempers are already on thin ice between the 2 Winslow men, and their patience grows even shorter when Urkel shows up and promptly becomes an ace at fishing, but he saves the day when Carl falls through the ice, making a shaken Eddie realize that he easily might no longer have had a father to argue with had things turned out differently. Meanwhile, Judy is upset that Richie is being lavish with attention. Episode 25. Carl's irate demeanor has everything to do with the fast approaching 1-year anniversary of the hostage situation gone horribly wrong. He's still shaken over not doing that one thing that could have stopped a convenience store robber from killing his elderly hostage, a chance meeting with the victim's widow she had sent her husband out for ice cream on the night of his death, helps Carl realize that nobody except the robber is at fault for her husband's tragic death. This might be, and I'm not for sure, this might be the last season ending episode that focuses on a character not named Urkel.
So wait a minute. Are we going to count the crossover episode, Die Hard?
Funny enough, what is his name? Landon Vel Johnson.
Oh, Reginald Vel Johnson.
Reginald Vel Johnson. Yeah, he was in Die Hard.
I said it's crossover, right? It was called Winslow.
Yes, he was. Yes.
He was literally. He was eating snacks.
Yes,
he was listening.
What up, Cindy?
What up, Cindy?
All right, so season 3, episode 1. That's the episode where Carl has to stay on the treadmill. That's rigged with a bomb.
Right.
Okay. Episode 14. Eddie doesn't study for a chemistry test and convinces Urkel to help him cheat by pretending to have a code. When Urkel really does have a code, he's caught giving Eddie the answers, and when he keeps mum about who he was helping to cheat, is threatened with expulsion. Meanwhile, Carl becomes the laughingstock of the precinct when he literally sleeps through a house burglary.
I remember this show. I remember all these episodes.
One night when Eddie and Urkel were confessing their misdeed to Carl, they all fell asleep again, only for Harriet and Rachel to nab the burglars in the act. Eddie and Urkel eventually have to retake the test. The last episode of that season, Urkel composes a detective yarn about 1940s era gumshoe Johnny Danger, who was sent to protect supper club owner and assassin target Rachel. Season 4, episode 1. Feuding neighbors Urkel and Carl decide to settle things on American Gladiators.
I remember that episode.
Season 4, episode 12. The two types of bonding take center stage. In the literal sense, Laura is trying to get back together with class hunk Ted, but when Urkel tries out his new super glue, he accidentally gets his hand stuck on Laura's shoulder just as Ted shows up. In the relationship sense, Carl buys a used police car at an auction, hoping a restoration project will be the key to bonding with Eddie. But Eddie wants his project partner to be Waldo, causing Harriet to set her son straight. Season 4, episode 24. When Urkel decides to at least try to have a relationship with Myra, she sees Laura as competition and tells her to bug off. Meanwhile, Eddie is promoted to manager at the Mighty Weenie, and one of the employees under his watch is Carl.
Rest in peace to Michelle Thomas, too.
Facts. Season 5, episode 1. Myra goes to Urkel's school for a visit and later accuses Laura of trying to steal him away. An annoyed Laura tries to convince Myra otherwise, but things break down into a huge food fight. Meanwhile, Carl feels he has lost his romantic touch and invests in a toupee.
I remember all of these episodes.
Season 5, episode 12. A Family Matters adaptation of the 1991 movie Scenes from the Mall, this time featuring several intertwined stories involving the kids at the local mall. Season 5, episode 24. Urkel decides to renovate his Stefan Urkel alter ego, inventing a transformation chamber to do the trick. Stefan is much more likable this time, but just like last time, the formula soon wears off, and the suave ladies' man is soon his old, irksome, nerdy self. Urkel declares that he will find a way to make Stefan permanent and win Laura's heart once and for all. Season 6, episode 1. Steve transforms back into Stefan to please Laura. When Carl has problems with his eyesight, Eddie convinces him to use Steve's transportation machine, but something goes wrong. I'm pretty sure this is where Carl turns into Urkel.
Yes. The Urkelization.
Season 6, episode 14. Eddie decides he has no time to join with Carl in some father-son activities, but Waldo is more than willing to have fun with Carl. Eddie realizes he's missing out and gets the hint. Meanwhile, Urkel creates another alter ego, Bruce Lee Urkel, when a gang of ruffians harasses Laura at the Longshoreman's bar.
First of all, can we give a quick shout out to Waldo? Because Waldo was goofy as shit.
Waldo was
goofy as a motherfucker. And he ain't get the same. At this point, Urkel had taken over everything. But Waldo was funny as shit, yo. His delivery was funny as shit.
Facts. Season 6, episode 25. Urkel's parents announced they are moving to Russia. Only they say so after they've left. Urkel is forced to move in with Eddie. Urkel is forced to move in with Eddie and Waldo, but those arrangements are only temporary thanks to the nerds' hungry termites. Carl sees that Urkel now has no place to go and begrudgingly allows the comic foil to move into his house. Season 7, episode 1. The seventh season opener, a parody of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, sees Urkel's transformation chamber go berserk. The nerd and flustered foil Carl are shrunk to 2 inches tall, and as a result, must work together to dodge hazards such as rolling fruit and the large house cats. Y'all remember what season 1 episode 1? All right. Season 7, episode 13. Urkel and Eddie are forced to travel to a small island country near Mexico where Waldo has landed in jail for violating the country's little-known customs. Season 7, episode 24. While Urkel was working on a cloning experiment with his transformation chamber, the contraption goes kablooey. That is the word that they used, kablooey. The aftermath has Urkel cloned, creating double trouble for the Winslow household. Laura decides to make lemons out of lemonade and suggests that one of the clones be made into a permanent Stefan. Season 8. I didn't get season 8, episode 1. Whatever. Season 8, episode 13. Steve and Carl head out into the woods to get a Christmas tree. The nerd annoys him by rejecting some of the trees until he snapped and tells him they are taking his tree. After they cut it, they were trying to hurry back before the snow got really heavy. Unfortunately, it obliterated their tracks and they end up lost. While sitting by the fire, Steve and Carl apologize and bond. Then the nerd is able to use the constellations to get them home. Meanwhile, Eddie and the rest of the family are exchanging gifts until Harriet tells them Stefan is here. Laura finally calls it quits with Curtis and stays with her current boyfriend. Her ex-boyfriend is angry and warns Urkel that if he hurts Laura in a matter that he hates, he will pay for it. Stefan tells him that he won't hurt her in the emotional way that Curtis did. Season 8, episode 24. Urkel and Carl travel back through time to the 1700s and wind up on a pirate ship where they're forced to walk the plank.
Goofy as fuck.
Season 9, episode 1. Steve is finally fed up with Myra's refusal to let him change the way he looks. In her eyes, she sees him as perfect the way he is. However, he doesn't see it the same way. Can we first talk about, just for a second before we go over past that, can we talk about the very bad message that sends, right? Bruh.
Like, she's literally saying, I like you the way you are. And he said, no. Like that. Like, she likes you the way you are. And Michelle Thomas was fine. Like,
no, thanks.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He doesn't say the same as her. He feels as long as he dated her, he'll still remain a geek with the hitched up pants and squeaky voice. He makes the executive decision to go through with the makeover despite her pleading. He even takes speaking lessons from his doctor and the deep voice Sheila. On the night of the kissing contest held by the sorority, Laura wages high for Stefan, but loses the bet to one of her sorority sisters. Greta is in the next to bet for Eddie, but she loses to a rival Myrtle. So, Steve Urkel, Stefan, and Myrtle Urkel are in this episode. Blah, 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 loses to Myrtle. Finally, Steve shows up in his new look, a green button-down shirt with black slacks reaching to his ankles, new black shoes, no suspenders, and oval silver-rimmed glasses. He spoke with his new deep voice. While many girls bet for Steve, Laura is impressed by his new look, wins the bet, and they share a kiss. Meanwhile, Carl is jealous of Harriet's high promotion that he ends up a second job being a Moonlight Parker. So to be clear, in this episode, Jaleel is playing Steve Urkel, OG. Steve Urkel reimagined, Stefan Urkel, and Myrtle Urkel. These were half-hour episodes, people.
Yeah.
So he's playing 4 characters, essentially. 3, really, but 4 characters, essentially. And the storyline is that there's a kissing competition and people are placing wagers, not wagers, it's like an auction. Mm-hmm. People are doing an auction for who they get to kiss. And Laura is in a relationship with Stefan, but ends up kissing Steve. And Eddie is in a relationship with another girl, but ends up kissing Myrtle. That's what happened in this episode. Okay, my bad. Episode 12, season 9, episode 12. Steve convinces Mr. Tanaka, the owner of a Japanese restaurant, to teach him how to cook Japanese food. Feathers fly when Carl cares for his boss's beloved but stubborn parrot.
I remember that.
Parrot. Season 9, episode 22, which is the last episode of the series. With the spaceship unable to return to Earth, it's up to Steve to save his fellow crewmen by gently removing the satellite that got stuck to its side. Once successful, he brings the crew home. Meanwhile, Myra makes one last push to get Urkel to come back to her by pretending to be his fiancé. The plan fails and she eventually gives up on her pursuit. During that time, Carl helps Harriet understand her son's need to be a police officer. Eddie's mirror maid duty takes a dangerous turn. Now, if we had more time, I would go into some of the more outlandish shit that happened in the show. But basically, it went from Family Matters to Family Guy. On top of all of this, nobody did much before or after that participated in the show on screen. Now, that's not necessarily a failure of the show itself, but it helps with legacy. Let's look at the comparisons.
Yo, GA is wildin'. Eddie kissed Myrtle, a wild Umar appears. Yo.
So let's look at the comparisons to these other shows, right? So Martin was already a star before the show started, and his career bloomed after.
Yes.
Tachina Arnold was already semi-famous and working before after.
She done movies
and after the show, she played a main character in another black show that's often ranked over Family Matters, which is Everybody Hates Chris.
Right.
Tisha Campbell was already semi-famous and working before and after the show. She played a main character on My Wife and Kids, another black sitcom that I put above Family Matters, by the way. Fresh Prince, was already a rap star. And after this, he went on to be the biggest movie star of his generation.
Right.
The Cosby Show. We all know who Cosby was before and after this, fame-wise. Let me be clear.
We knew the other stuff too. But go ahead.
We knew the other stuff, but it's a different conversation. Fame-wise. Also, this show spawned A Different World, which is often mentioned in the top 5 of black shows of all time. Right. And the single. Queen Latifah was already a star before and after she kept doing her thing in Hollywood. Also, Friends, one of the most popular shows of all time, stole the entire premise of their show from
Yes, they did.
Girlfriends. Tracy Ellis Ross was already Nepo famous, at least, being the daughter of Diana Ross. Also, she wanted to play a main character in another well-regarded black sitcom, Blackish. Also, there was a spinoff called The Game that did big numbers in its prime seasons.
Right.
Bernie Mac Show. Bernie was coming off of the original Kings of Comedy. Then after this show started, his Hollywood rocket took off. Family Matters, the most notable thing any of the main cast has done after the show is be a porn star.
Yeah, little girl walk up the steps and never see her again.
Right, and next time you see her, she's
on Bang Bros or some shit.
Yeah, like so. No.
Yeah, like you know what? Here's the thing, right? I think what's happening with this a lot of the times too is that window of time with the popularity of Urkel is being spread out across the show, as if the show and the other characters were no, and also I think it has to do with a certain amount of bias he's gonna have. Because he remember how his life was, how people treated him, back then and whatever. And he's projecting that out. But if you look at these other black shows, we're talking some people that became major forces in Hollywood and entertainment. And that didn't happen with this show. For whatever reason. It didn't happen.
I'll shoot a little bill, but then I'm about to smack his back right back down. Typecasting is a thing.
It 100%
absolutely.
Is a thing.
However, people overcome typecasting all the time.
True.
Bryan Cranston, Malcolm in the Middle, he was hell. He was typecast before. I can't remember if it was before or after. I'm pretty sure it was before. Mm-hmm. Before Hell, he was Tim Watley on Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
So he was typecast as the lovable goof fuck up.
Yeah.
Then Breaking Bad happened. And everybody realized, oh, shit.
This nigga
he can really act. He can really act. Even Tracy Ellis Ross, for a smaller example, her character in Girlfriends was nothing like her character in Blackish.
No.
Tashina Arnold, Pam was nothing like the character in Everybody Hates Chris. Tisha Campbell, Gina was nothing like her character in
House Party and shit.
Anything
else she did.
So it's like, yeah, typecasting is a thing, but
you can overcome that
if you're good enough.
If you're good enough, or if they feel like they can market you.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe all of those shenanigans for all those seasons is hurtful. Maybe a lot of directors felt like, I just don't think people can overlook it as soon as you pop on the screen. I'm gonna give an example of who that happened to too, but he still wound up getting over it. The dude that played Al Bundy.
Yeah, absolutely. When Martin family, listen. Again, so
here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. He was in A Few Good Men, and they cut his part. Because when they looked at the test audiences, watched the show, as soon as he came on the scene, motherfuckers was like, yo, Al Bundy in the military now? They was like, cut it. Cut it. And he still overcame it.
Yep. Because the point, you mentioning Ed O'Neill kind of galvanizes the point that I was making without even knowing I was making it. We're talking about show, like, one of the reasons your show is not as highly regarded is a lot of these other shows that are rated above yours, elements of those shows have gone on to create more greatness. When you talk about somebody that's been in, like, let's be clear, it's difficult to have a hit show.
Very much so.
A hit show. To then have two?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there aren't many Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, there's not many not Marlon. Which one? Damon Wayans. There's not many, like I said, Tashina Arnold, Tisha Campbell, Ed O'Neill,
Facts.
Tracy Ellis Ross. There's not many of these people floating around.
Right.
And the fact that there are so many of them that are black kind of hurts your argument, my guy.
It does.
Again, the argument is not Family Matters was trash. No. I would never say that.
I would never say that.
Yeah, it was a cool show that I liked and I watched.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. And so somebody
I saw that too, Sean P. Me and my daughter was like, oh shit, we watching that. The Malcolm in the Middle is be making a comeback on Disney Plus. We watching that. It's
facts, McKenna. McKenna said you mentioned Friends. David Schwimmer in the middle is still doing Friends. Was cast as Captain Sobel in Band of Brothers. He was an asshole military guy, nothing like Ross. Yeah. Same thing with Jennifer Aniston. She overcame that whole Rachel typecast.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, it can be done.
You can beat it.
Absolutely be done. Yeah.
Yo, GA mentions the whole thing about the dude from Everybody Hates Chris. Yeah. He's gotten work in Walking Dead. He's got another series now. Like, you can do that shit.
Facts. Let me see. I feel like there was somebody that said basically there was an argument made after his statements that another one of the reasons that I didn't mention is that with the show Family Matters, very seldom was being black or the black experience actually a part of the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
They made the argument that you could replace the entire cast with white people, and
for a lot of those episodes,
show could happen.
Yeah, for a lot of episodes, yeah.
On top of that, Urkel, Jaleel White himself, in that book, says, one of the reasons that Urkel feels so authentic is because I based him off of white comedians.
Yeah.
Sir, what do you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what it is. And again, these are uncomfortable conversations that our community has to have. But a large percentage of anti-Black sentiment fosters in the Black community.
Yeah.
We were taught to undervalue ourselves. Even a lot of us that you wouldn't expect to do that, will every so often say something that shows that they undervalue the contribution the Black people make as opposed to the dominant demographic white people. This is a problem. This is a psychological issue that is prevalent in our community. And we're not the only ones, because I remember one time having a conversation with this Asian dude that was telling me about some very similar things with them.
Yeah.
These are things that we need to discuss, because the reality of the situation is, yes, we were taught. It's hard not to think some anti-Black stuff when you in a society that told you for 400 years you wasn't shit. And then they continue to boost it. Yeah. Ain't shit. And then they come up with these little fanciful ways of saying we ain't shit. So that is, to me, is not surprising, because I see it all over the place.
I found that article. Before I read that article, though, quote tweet from Michael Harriet to the video of Jaleel saying these dumb things. Michael Harriet says, The Cosby Show was about a family led by a doctor and a lawyer. Mm-hmm. Martin was about a radio host who literally roasted his best friend by accusing him of not having a job. Living Single was about single middle-class Black friends.
Yeah.
A Different World was about Black college students.
Yep.
Maybe he misheard people say Family Matters wasn't as good as those other shows. And onto this article. It's actually not that long of an article. Wait, where'd it go?
I think the overall point is that nobody was maligning you. Nobody was personally taking umbrage to your shit. This is the marketplace. And in the marketplace, the consumers are going to have their opinions on what they think is of certain amount of quality and what they think is of lesser quality. Yeah. And you, as somebody who made a shit ton of money off of that and did have your moment in the sun, you really don't have no control over what the audience is going to consume and decide what they like better. So you enjoy, take the ride for what it is, try not to become a shitty person from the experience, and then you have this nostalgia you can look back on. Yeah, I remember time I was the super big star.
But that's a simple formula.
It's a simple formula, bro. But the attempt to retcon why you aren't viewed that way, why don't you go and just ask the consumer base?
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, I forgot the excuse. With the Cosby Show, I forgot about Raven. Raven.
Oh, yeah. Raven.
Regardless of some of the things that she's been saying.
She's actually one of the pieces of evidence that I've given about these child stars growing up in.
But she, less than 20 years later,
bro,
had her own sitcom,
which was big as fuck.
That has now had its own spinoff.
Yeah, big as fuck.
So anyway. Last month, Jaleel White, who played nerdy Steve Urkel, and his debonair alter ego, Stefan Urkel, released a memoir of his life, Growing Up Urkel. White has not been Urkel in over 25 years. Maybe White is living in the past because the past was mostly really good to him, but he does recount some less than savory moments he's had. In his book, he talks about his first date, which was with Bianca Lawson, before she was cast in Saved by the Bell, the new class, and how she essentially only went out with him for his status and money. Not only was she 13 at the time, but Lawson was also the granddaughter of Berry Gordy, and Marvin Gaye III was her half-brother. Surely she needed a child actor's help to break into the entertainment.
That was some shade, yo.
during the press run for his book, he stopped by the Wilmington Library to chat with journalist Randall Shaw, about his life and black sitcoms. Some of his comments about his place in the zeitgeist of black sitcoms did not sit well with many people on social media, as he, whether intentionally or not, slighted other shows with mostly black casts at the time. White told Shaw, being part of TGI, I already read all that part.
See the reason why we was less niggardly,
right?
Show. That's what
it's unfair for White to take issue with Family Matters not being considered a black show, when White himself said he based the character off of white comedians. Quote, because my inspirations were white, the character came off being very authentic and original, like something nobody had ever seen.
Okay, stop.
That's a quote from him. Saying shows like Martin and
Dyke was doing. All right, yo. All right.
Saying shows like Martin and Living Single were hood shows, and that is why they are more associated with blackness, is insincere, especially considering how the characters were portrayed. Khadijah was a business owner whose cousin worked for her. Their roommate, Regine, worked in a boutique and had a penchant for the finer things in life.
And Max was a fucking attorney.
Their friend Maxine was a lawyer. Colin Overton, who lived above them, were a stockbroker and a handyman, respectively.
Bro, the stockbroker dude, corporate America.
And while some of their jobs were not common for black people at the time, they were surely more aspirational than being a cop and more likely than being a cop. Even with the Cosby Show's universal appeal and Heathcliff and Claire both having jobs that were not usual quote-unquote black jobs, again, they were aspirational. The Cosby Show, for all of Bill's wrongs, had so many rights, and the exaltation of black scholarship was one of them that not be replicated and would not be replicated by making the Huxtables white. Even with Friends being the Timu version of Living Single, the way the show was written, the script could never be replicated with a white cast as is. There were far too many cultural specificities in both shows to deny their impact and confident blackness. However, Family Matters was not a black show in the same way other black shows of its time were. Save for the occasional stereotypes they wrote in for Eddie and Harriet, there was nothing really black about the characters. Harriet was an elevator operator turned head of security, and Carl was a cop in Chicago during the 90s, when there was new attention focused on police brutality. This is not to say that there were not black cops or heads of security in Chicago in the 90s, but that was hardly indicative of the average black household. For the most part, the characters could have easily been swapped out for white actors with the same script, and there would have been very little difference. Family Matters was under the TGIF brand, which was ABC's golden lineup. ABC was not known for pushing the edge in television during that time and would be bought by Disney in the mid-90s, further solidifying its squeaky clean, unprovoking image as a network. Living Single and Martin were both Fox shows. Fox was a relatively new network and sharpened its teeth on cutting-edge entertainment, which often featured stories about black life, not just black people, in ways that other networks were afraid of. Examples, South Central and Living Color, Mad TV, etc. White stated that black kids being made fun of and compared to Steve Urkel was part of nerd culture, or as he put it, what is now, quote, smart culture, as if Maxine Shaw and Kyle Barker were not smart. Steve's appeal as a character was not him being smart back then. Steve was annoying and was originally slated for a single appearance, but with the lagging ratings, his character proved to be a breakout hit and saved the show from cancellation. Steve's goofiness...
Yo, that's it. You just said the word. You said the word before I could get it out. He was annoying and goofy.
Yeah.
That was the draw.
Yeah. Steve's goofiness was the entertainment, not his intellect.
Right.
The show shifted from the family show to a show about Steve, a family, and his hijinks. While it was obviously written to be over the top, it is doubtful that all the crazy shit that was going on was going to fly in an average black household. Even if it was fun to watch, it seems like White agrees. In a 2020 interview, White admits that he based the character off of white comedians, blah, 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 because inspirations were white. The character came off as very authentic. Yikes on bikes. Yes, Jalil, you said that you did do that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I would say relax. No, seriously, like relax. I get it. You doing your book tour and all of that. And you don't speak a lot. But here's the thing. This ain't back then. The shit you say spreads fast as a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, just maybe, you run this past some people before you start, because that right there, we looked upon you very lovingly, my brother. We looked upon, we didn't see you as anything ass or whatever. Like, Urkel,
We didn't other you other than the nerd stuff, and that was still like that was the point of your character.
And by the way, I'm one thing that got to be made clear is that the whole nerd thing, nerds being othered, that's not exclusive to Black culture.
No,
like there's a literal. You know how many movies, TV shows, cartoons, all of that shit that has nothing to do with us, that others, the quote unquote nerd, the classic nerd with the tape in between the glasses and the pencil pocket protector and the Poindexter, when the stupid laugh and all of that's not something that originated with us. No. All right.
No,
so you just might want to chill. Like,
just know.
Just chill. You got a legacy, bro. Yeah, you got a legacy. Just let the legacy speak for itself.
Right.
Let people comment on what they're going. You gonna write a book? Write a book. All right, cool.
Letting out strains of weed with Snoop Dogg and do those things.
Do those things.
Stay in that lane. Don't come talk about Black people don't appreciate. No,
stop. We appreciated you for what you presented.
What you presented did not match other shows. It's just what happened.
And we still
bad show.
Here's the thing: we still watched it. You know why? Because hold on to your corncob pipe. Black people watch all kinds of shows from all kinds of demographics. And as a matter of fact, there was a time when our demographic wasn't on TV at all, and we watched all the Mary Tyler Moores, the Dick Van Dyke shows, My Three Sons, all of those old black and white ass movies where there was no Black people in it. I Love Lucy. My grandmother loved I Love Lucy. She thought Lucille Ball was the most beautiful woman she had ever seen. So stop it, B. We will watch it all if we think it's good. We will watch it. Stop, man. Stop.
So, Jalil, in Family Matters, I don't know if this is a comprehensive list. He played Steve Urkel, the iconic nerdy neighbor and the character he's most famous for. He's played Stefan Urkel, Steve's suave and smooth alter ego created using the transformation chamber. He played Murder Urkel, Steve's Southern Belle cousin who was infatuated with Eddie. He played original Gangsta Doug.
Yeah, he did.
Original Gangsta Doug.
Yeah.
Okay. A tough and street smart persona of Steve created as a part of an experiment. He played Albert Einstein.
Right.
He played Bruce Lee Urkel.
Right.
And he played Elvis Presley Urkel.
Right. So, yeah. McKenna says, I'm not Black. Everybody Hates Chris was one of my favorite shows as a kid. It's almost like people are not a monolith that only watch things from their perspective. It's almost like that, right?
But I would argue that some of those things, for instance, one of my biggest arguments is always and will always be, because people try to pretend like Eminem is not a skilled rapper. One of my biggest arguments will always be, if you need to completely relate to a form of entertainment in order to enjoy it, you don't have an imagination.
Right.
It's that simple.
Right.
It is really that simple. Right. If something has to be true to your real life,
and you can't imagine no other type of life that could be living,
you're boring.
Yeah.
You're a boring person. You don't have an imagination.
You're a bore.
You don't have creativity. What are you talking? So that's a very big thing.
Also, it's the relating aspect, right? You don't need to relate to something to find it entertainment. Entertaining. When you watch these sci-fi shows, this weird shit happening.
They're very popular, by the way.
They're very popular, but can't tell me you relate to that. Now, you might relate to the human story, because this is what I've always told other writers. No matter what the surroundings are, at certain points, humans like to watch humans do human things or things that are human-like.
Yeah.
So these could be aliens.
Right.
But they're having an approximation of a human experience in some way. And your ass is watching that.
That's what I was about to say about McKenna's last point. It's not necessarily not from your perspective. It's just that part of it is not your perspective.
Right.
There are parts of it that you
relate
could still potentially find to relate to. And that's how that works.
And I could completely not relate to any of it.
Yep.
And still find the jokes funny. Still find the setup stuff. Again, all these things are possible. Now, I do think that sometimes people are talking past each other with certain conversations because some relatability is about pure conditioning. If every time you see you or an approximation of you in media doing this shit, doing this shit, and everybody else is doing positive or everything. They're doing everything. They're not just doing that shit. They're doing that shit, this shit over here, and all of that. The conditioning of the human mind is, that's what we do. And that's all they do. And the people that want to discredit you will definitely say, "You guys mop floors. You don't be judges on benches, and you guys, you flip burgers. You don't do. You guys, you're doormen when it comes to the doorman. You got because and by the way, it won't even just be. Of course, it won't just be you that starts to think that about yourself or your people. Other people will see that, which is why there was a documentary on Netflix some years ago where it was in South Korea. Tall black man walks down the street. He doesn't play basketball. He's not a professional ever. These people rarely have seen a lot of black people in their lives outside of TV or whatever's projected to them. The first thing they said to him is, "Oh, basketball, you play basketball."
Right.
How you think they got that impression? How is all of the stereotypes about certain groups known globally? Because it's projected globally. It's a literal export, right?
Thanks.
It's an export. And if people don't have the experience with these other people, they don't see them often, they don't talk to them, they think, "Oh, yeah, sure." They see your black ass in Japan. Wu-Tang, bro.
Faster.
Bro. Like, no. I do rap. But no. Like, what the fuck? That's how it is, man. That's how it is. And it's been that way for a long time. Long before there was TVs, long before there was internet shit. The xenophobia shit is a thing. A motherfucker, you don't look like they do. You look weird. You're not even dressed like they are. None of that. You look weird to them. And the first thing they're going to say is, "Oh, you must be different than us." And in some ways, that's true.
Sure.
But not in the ways that really matter. Though. Like, not in the ways that really matter. This motherfucker still eats, drinks, takes a shit, has sex, does all of the same shit. Wants a house. Don't want to be in pain. All the same shit.
Facts. God damn it. Where's my
camera?
chat thing?
Right there.
No, my chat. I lost my chat. Anyway, Jaleel.
Facts. I like the Orville. Facts.
Jaleel, get your shit together, my guy.
Yo. This is one thing you could do.
Oh no, you can always shut the fuck up.
Like, especially if I feel like you've sequestered yourself away from a lot of the certain conversations to get perspective.
Yeah. And
it's like SPJ said earlier, you're separating yourself from black stuff. Yeah. Not black people, because we watched your show. Nah. We watched the show. You separating yourself now. So chill.
Yeah, you're doing that shit, my guy.
I would suggest, like, I did like his interview with the Breakfast Club. So you maybe need to start doing some more black media, right?
I mean, well, but hold up. To be fair, I don't know the demographic of the Wilmington, whatever, but he was being interviewed by a black guy.
Oh, damn. Well, see, we need platforms that push back. We don't need platforms that sit there and be.
Because, like, why would you sit there and let him say that shit? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
stargazing.
It shows again the cognitive dissonance, or maybe, just maybe, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That could be it too.
Maybe you aren't actually familiar with these shows that you're comparing your show to.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing. The only reason that it's bad is because you're speaking on them as if
it does sound like that he doesn't have a clue on what some of these
what
shows.
Are you talking about hood?
To say The Living Single is a hood show.
Yo mentioned Martin and Living Single again.
That's crazy.
Or I hope it's not this because you're black. Or he is looking at things that black people consider black people behavior and automatically calling that hood.
Well, what I will say to you is he wouldn't. That is not actually uncommon. Mm-hmm. There are a segment of black people in our community who see us through the eyes of everybody else.
Right.
I've talked to them. I've argued with them. Like, that's the thing. And he could be simply one of them. Like, it's one thing if you spend a large portion of your time. It's one thing if your examples, what you learned from, only consisted of, let's say, we're going to take it from black and white, Mexican comedians, right?
Right.
Like, all you've ever seen was Mexican comedians. You've never seen anything else. And you studied their work and you studied how they did this and how they did that and their particular idiosyncrasies that are cultural. And you don't even realize it's cultural, right? Then I could see you saying what he's saying is, oh yeah, that's all hood stuff. That's just this. Because you're seeing things from their perspective, because that's all you ever engage with or consume. And it sounds like to me that when you say you base your stuff off of white comedians as if black comedians are a new thing.
Right.
They are not.
Like, what are we talking about?
They are not. Black comedians are not a new thing. You chose to take a look at them. Could possibly be because you're suffering from the black ice, white ice situation. For those of you that are unfamiliar with that, the black ice, white ice thing is an example where you see two people standing on opposite corners selling ice. You walk by, one's black, one's white. You walk by the black vendor, even though he's closer, and you go to the white one because you think his ice is colder and it tastes better. That mentality is prevalent in the black community, and it comes from conditioning. This is what, again, this artist I heard of called Suleiman Grundy, he dropped something. He dropped something there, and he said in his bars, the cultures we formed were created from trauma.
Facts.
Trauma.
Yeah.
That you don't get to walk away from trauma without having some sort of afflictions psychologically, the way you see yourselves, the way you see the world, the way you see others in the world.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that. And I think he's, like I said, the shit he was saying, bro. I unfortunately have heard a variation of that about other things from people who look like him. Yeah. And it's a bit off-putting, I must say, but it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of it. People hurt people.
That's what they say. That's what they say, nigga. All right, let's go to week in review before we do year.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, McKenna said, "Hey, just like our "Am I the Asshole" determinations, this could be solved by either shutting up or actually
having a conversation.
Yes.
That's it. So, this week, this is why I really can't wait until I move out of the country, sure, but out of this house specifically. We have an issue with our dryer. It's not heating up. Sometimes when that happens, though, you know that little funnel pipe that leads outside for the air and all of that shit? Sometimes that gets stuffed with shit. Lint, all of that. So I go outside and climb up on that shed that's in my back because that's where you can reach the thing. I dig up in there. I pull out about
you doing on the roof, my guy?
Hey, look, bro. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. By the way, I'm glossing over some shit. I didn't like that, by the way. Not because I have a fear of heights. I mean, I don't like extreme heights, but it wasn't that. It's because I had to get over that damn banister. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But be that as it may, I pull out. Yo, Mama Kenna said, geese are stealing all of your.
That's hilarious.
Look, I pulled out. It was some lint stuffed up in there. It's like 2 handfuls. Nothing serious. Let's see if this works.
This is serious enough to start a house fire.
Well, yeah, that's true. So I go and I turn the thing on. First of all, I got to tell you, my ADHD is ridiculous because I will turn that on to see if it heats up, and then I walk away and do something else, and then forget that the shit was on. And then when I go back to it, it's already, if it was warm, it cooled down by now because I forgot about the shit. That happened numerous times, by the way, until I finally, let me set an alarm on my phone, right, to remind myself to go and check at a certain time. It did not get warm or whatever, so that wasn't it. So we attempted to call the warranty. Call in for the warranty. Because this is a relatively new dryer, by the way. Trying to get somebody to come out here is like pulling teeth. They kept scheduling a day and then not showing up. Oh, between this time and that time, and then not showing up. Now, because I spend a lot of my time behind this computer with these headphones on, so much so that even when I'm not listening to something, I will put the headphones on. I said, nah, I need to take my ass upstairs around that certain time. So if he knocks on the door, I'll hear him because nobody else was here.
Right.
I wait. And I wait. And I wait. Nothing. No one comes by. No one calls. None of that shit. Try to reschedule. The same thing happened. So finally, my mother-in-law, who doesn't stand on ceremony when she calls to complain about some shit not happening that's supposed to happen, she calls up and immediately reads them the riot act. And they're coming up with excuses, and we're not trying to hear none of that shit. None of it. So eventually they do get some guy to come over. He comes over, takes him less than 10 minutes to examine the damn thing, and realizes all the heat and cooling air is shorted out. It's broke. We got to get another part. Okay. So here's the bad side about getting another part. We have to wait for the part to come in and then have to wait to schedule someone to come in and fix it. Well, we've seen from the previous trying to schedule motherfuckers to come and do some work that it takes almost 3 or 4 tries to get a motherfucker to come over. So we are doing what we haven't done in a long time. Going to the fucking laundromat. And we hate it. We hate it. It's always something with this place. Never incident. For my money, I would leave the leaves in the lawn because they'll break down and help fertilize the lawn.
Right.
With our particular lawn, it kind of needs a little extra natural fertilization because it was patches. And this happened before in the backyard. We first moved here. The far right corner of the yard had mad patches of just dirt. One year, we just let the leaves stay there and just break down. And when spring and summer came the next year, all those patches were filled in. For my money, that's what I would do with the front lawn as well. But my mother-in-law does not like to see the front lawn have a bunch of leaves on it. So the guy that comes around, usually cuts the front lawn. He also takes care of the leaf shit. Blows it together, puts it in the curb, the gutter, and then they come along like on a Thursday or some shit, and they take the shit away. No big deal. This year he had to do it twice though, because even though our tree had our tree, who by the way has been giving us a collective middle finger since we've been here, because it always looks like that tree dying. And then spring come around and go, fuck you, I'm alive. Don't be writing no eulogies about me because I'm still here. Look at all these leaves, nigga. All of those leaves had fallen and they got up. And then I'm assuming the other trees around here was like, fuck y'all out. Right? Wind, rain, whatever. And all that shit came back on the lawn again. So this time, same guy comes by to do it again. This nigga got food. Hold up, y'all. Break. Come out. This nigga got food. Time out. Hold up.
I don't know what you're talking about, my guy.
I'm gonna play.
What are you talking about?
And he's purposely keeping it out of the camera sight. Oh, look at this eating something. Look at him.
What are you talking about?
I just wanted to be I wanted to be known for the record that at see what time is it?
You wildin'.
12:23 Eastern. Food. This nigga got food. So as I was saying, this time
ain't no attention to the man behind him.
Behind his mic. So the guy comes back to take care of these other leaves. However, my wife pulls up and she parks. And he says, "Excuse me, could you move the car up the street a little bit? Because I want to put the leaves here." My wife says, "Why can't you just put them further up here, right here? This is my parking spot." Well, because this is where they pick them up from. No, nigga.
Not if the car's parked there.
They'll pick them up from any spot along the curb on this block.
Right.
As long as it's in the gutter. Now, as you guys know, I talked about it before. My wife was having some medical issues with sciatica, think something wrong with her disc in her back and all of that. So for a while, walking was no-go. She had to walk with crutches. She's really just getting back to herself, and she's still not 100%. So the car being parked further up means she'd have to walk longer to get to the car. We're not doing that. So dude feels like he has to plead his case. Let me give y'all some advice. Some serious advice. If you are delivering a service or selling goods, it's not that the customer's always right, because they're not always right. But in most situations, there's a better way to handle that than to argue with them over some shit that's just a few feet in this direction, and you're using a fucking leaf blower that could blow the clouds away. Also, for the record, there's only so much back and forth you're going to do with mine. With mine. I understand adults are adults and they're going to have the screen. There's only so much back and forth you're going to do with mine.
Sure, say what you got to say, but get it out quickly.
Get it out quickly. It's not going to be, because at the end of the day, you're being paid to do this job.
Especially when it's something so innocuous for
it literally will not affect anything. And of course, he ended up doing exactly what he was told to do. And nothing crazy happened. They came by, they got the shit. Because that was you trying to do something that you shouldn't do. And that is
throw rocks and hide your head. Oh, no.
Well, no. More like
box the guard? Oh, no. Wait.
Is attempting to exert dominance over something you don't own. You don't own any of this. This is our street. These are our parking spots. That's what they are.
Because who the fuck you think you is?
That's just it. You're nobody. You're an old man. Relax. Relax. Do what you're told, what you're paid to do.
That part.
But after a certain amount of what, that's when I went out there. Because I'm not.
Oh no.
Only a certain amount of. We not. Talk to me. Talk to me.
You shouldn't have ever even blew your breath in her direction.
Yeah. The moment she said, "Can't you just move up there?" Sure, no problem.
Right.
That's the way that was supposed to be. And just for the record, I'm putting this out here again because I've never had this particular issue with any of my fan base. When I've done shows and my wife went to the shows, there was never any. But just for the record, it could be a Comic-Con that we doing with the thing. You see my peoples out there. Please know, whatever the thing is, situation is, there's only a certain amount of that I'm putting up with. And then after that, it's going to be a problem. And you might not be a fan anymore.
Thanks. Well, you might not be anymore.
Right. Like, I'm not. No. I'm that one that's going to crash out for me. So, if you had plans for your life beyond this engagement, prioritize those plans and you being here to be able to do that shit. I'm not. No. This goes for her. This goes for Siobhan. This goes for Malik. This goes for this nigga. Nah, it's only going to be a certain amount of that. You still talking? You still really still? But that was my week.
Nigga. All right. So there are several things that I can get into. I'm just going to do one. I'm just going to do one because it's long and we have other stuff from the year to talk about.
Yeah, other things.
New York. The reason we didn't have a show last week was because I was in New York. We went to New York for Dion's middle daughter's birthday. This child, at 7 years old, told her mother that she wanted to wake up in New York on her 18th birthday. What the hell kind of 7-year-old?
Yo, first of all,
that's wild.
This is not me disparaging New York. I love New York because hip hop was birthed there, right? Love New York. But who told her New York?
Bro, I didn't ask. I didn't ask why, but I'm like, yo,
it's wild, bro. It's
shout out
wild.
to Dion for doing it though, because like,
absolutely.
If your child at 7 says they want to do something at 18, and you're in a position to do it for them, hey,
facts.
If you're in a position to do it for them and they don't cause no harm to them and no shit like that, absolutely. I'm with it.
But why New York though? Like if she'd have said Disney World or Universal, I want to be son, I would get I would kind of get because you were 7. So you 7. So those things. Why New York?
I have no idea.
Why New York? Again, this is not me disparaging New York. I'm just saying at 7 years old,
it don't really
why
matter.
Is that? Yeah, like why is that a thing?
I don't know, but hey, it's what she wanted. It's not technically what she got because we didn't stay in New York, but it's effectively what she got. So this is the one that is actually Chrissy's goddaughter. So we surprised her. She didn't know we were going.
Oh, wow.
So we surprised her at the Greyhound station. And she was like, wait.
What y'all doing here?
What are y'all doing here?
We work here.
Like, Chris is like, we're going to New York with you. She's like, really? Yeah. No, you're not. Are you really going to New York? Yes. The baby, which I'll explain later, came up to me. Y'all really going to New York with us? Yes. Why do you think we're here?
Right,
with bags?
Here to see you off? Is that what we did? Here to see you off?
No, we're here with luggage. We're going with you. So this is my first time catching a greyhound in my adult life. I've done it several times when I was a kid, but that don't count. That I don't remember anything from it. I didn't have to deal with any of the logistics of that. It was just a transportation mode. Yeah, Chris, she really thought we were coming.
Yo, that is wild, yo.
I'm like, bro, you don't see our bags? Like, we're carrying back anyway.
Is that those with you?
Yeah, right. For people who may have glanced at the screen during the podcast a couple times, you may have seen me drinking from this cup, and then you may have seen me drinking from this cup. The reason,
because he has champagne in one, and Ripple in the other, and when you mix them together, they become Champipple.
No, nigga. The reason for that is I left my cup in the Uber.
Oh.
And I had to buy another one, but the one that I bought was a 2-pack and it wasn't the same size. So I decided that I was going to use one for water and one for non-water beverages. So
again, champagne and one.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No. It's ginger ale. Anyway, so we didn't eat before we got to the Greyhound station. And they board unnecessarily early. Right. So
you sitting in the goddamn bus?
No, it's not what happened. It's not what happened. It's not what happened. So on the way there, I was like, damn, what are we gonna eat? And I was like, oh, it's a spot by the Greyhound station. I asked Chrissy, I'm like, we going to the Greyhound station by Horseshoe? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a spot there. We can grab something to chew on the way up. So we got there. And then she mentioned also that there were likely vending machines in the Greyhound station. I'm like, yeah, you're right. We get there, we do the whole surprise thing, all that gets established. I walk over to the vending machines. Trash. There's nothing in there. And the things that are in there are extremely expensive.
And this nigga was hungry.
I was hungry. I was like, oh, no, I'm about to walk up the street. It's like a gas station in Little Caesars. So the baby was like, oh, you going to the gas station? So I'm going with you. All right, cool. So now the reason that I call this young woman the baby is because she is Dion's youngest. She is not a baby. She's 14.
So wait a minute, is she the baby or that baby? Because see, Malik used to call that baby. That baby, that's grandmother. Give that baby that.
That's funny.
Give that baby that.
No, she's 14. So we walk out of the station, and she's looking around. I'm like, "What you looking for?" She's like, "We walking
to New York?
We walking." No,
what did she think was supposed to happen?
To the gas station. She thought that we drove to the Greyhound station and was going to leave our car there. But I don't think there's long-term parking there. So yeah, nah.
So that's funny because Alex was that baby.
So I was like, yeah, we walking. So it's cold. And
it's cold. I would have been mad too.
She had her coat unzipped, so I zipped her coat up. Like, all right, come on. So, like I said, it was gas station in Little Caesars. So with about 30 minutes until we're supposed to leave, I'm like, oh, okay, I got time. The baby being with me slowed me down a little bit because she got the asthma.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't play with asthma.
No.
But we got there We got our stuff. And I just happened to look at my phone. Chrissy was calling me. Now, at this point in time, I checked back and looked at my call log.
Right.
It was 10:24.
Oh.
The bus wasn't supposed to leave until 10:40. The gas station was like a 5-6 minute walk. So I'm looking and I answered the phone. I didn't see the time at the time. I answered the phone. She like, are y'all on your way back? Because they letting us on the bus. Like, right. God damn it. All right, so that means we got to hustle back. Because again, I'm not looking at the time.
With your hungry ass.
Listen, I'm not looking at the time. I'm like, oh, we gotta get back. We gotta get back. So tell the baby we gotta get back. We get back. We're going back. I'm rushing back. I got an arm full of stuff. Remember, she has asthma.
Right.
So basically what happens is every few seconds she's walking, and then when she gets a little bit too far behind, she would run to catch up.
So down there.
And then when she catches up, she started walking again. So that happened. We got there, and I feel like we were still sitting on the bus for like 15 minutes. But again, that's because they board unnecessarily early. So
see, maybe they don't want to do any last minute shit because they're afraid something gonna fuck up, and then
no, absolutely. No, it ain't a bad thing. But also in the store, I didn't buy anything to drink because I'm like, I got my cup and I just filled the cup up.
Yeah, well, no, somebody else has a cup.
Yeah, somebody else has the cup. So because I got on the bus and I'm like, oh, all right. I gave Chrissy her snacks. And I was like, you want a piece of pizza? And she was like, yeah, I gotta take a pill first. I'm like, all right. Oh shit. Where's my cup? She was like, I didn't see it with your bag. I'm like, damn, that must have mean I left it in the Uber.
Damn.
All right, fuck it. That's what happened. So
you couldn't buy another one at the spot? They ain't had none at the bus.
No, we were on the bus at the time.
Oh shit.
We were already on the bus.
They had no vendors on the bus? Because that's
no, nigga. No. So Greyhounds.
It's been a while since I've been to the bus station anyway. So
yes, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Greyhounds are not comfortable.
Right. Oh shit. I got you, bro.
Yo, you bugging. I've been accepting his request. What's wrong with you?
I said I don't usually be on on the Tombstone account. I'm usually on the Majestic Comics account.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So Greyhounds aren't comfortable. It is what it is. But I feel like we were only on the bus for like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The way that this young lady was floating this motherfucking Greyhound, she was in and out of traffic. Like, I swear, we got there so fast. Also, yeah, she ain't like stuff. Like, she ain't like nothing. She complained about quite a bit of things on this trip.
Oh my.
Like, yeah, like but again, she got us there in one piece and she got us there quickly. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about her.
Yeah, facts.
Facts. So we get there. Now, I don't know nothing about doing New York in that way.
Yo, if you'd have stopped just right there, that would have been
Shut up. I've been in New York several times. I've never done Times Square as an adult. So what we were doing was fun to me.
Right.
I don't like being places where I can't really move.
Not right
freely.
There. You could have stopped right there.
Shit, nigga. I don't like being places where I can't really move freely.
No, I feel you with that.
The fact that it literally doesn't make any sense to drive in Times Square rubs me the wrong way. No exaggeration. If you're in Times Square and you look up directions to go to another place that is in Times Square, the walking time is either going to be equal to or shorter than the driving time.
Right.
Then on top of that,
keep going, I can hear you.
Then on top of that, it was me and 6 women. Now, 4 of them were young women, which actually makes this worse. Hold on, let me respond to this real quick because I need to give y'all my full attention when I say this next part. So it's me and 6 women. Now we talked about this before. I personally cannot figure stuff out while being on full alert. And Chrissy and Dion didn't really know, like, down pat exactly what we needed to be doing either. So they were on figuring stuff out duty. I was on head on a swivel duty. Now, that wasn't terrible, but the things above should let you know that this was a trip and not a vacation. We talked about this concept several times on here. But now for some complaining. So, I will never, ever let Dion plan another trip again. Well, it wasn't actually her fault, though. It was more of an issue of her not wanting to bother us. She didn't actually plan the lodging. It was some rich friend of hers. She first was suggesting all kinds of $1,000 plus a night hotels for us to stay in. When Dion told her that she wasn't trying to spend that kind of money, apparently she just went and found the cheapest fucking hotel she could find that was within the vicinity of Times Square and gave Dion that. And that's what we ended up with. Now, this is just my experience and opinion, but people with long money generally aren't good at planning things for us brokies. It's just not how they're wired. It's just not how they're wired. Like, because
I don't see your friend request thing either.
You broke it.
It's not on.
They just simply throw money at shit, and a lot of them, when that isn't an option, they end up fumbling.
Oh my!
And that's not how I work. Like, that's not how that's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were supposed to be trying to get the best value for your money, not just something cheap.
I mean,
no. Apparently, she just hit the sort filter and hit price.
Right.
The first motherfucking hotel that she came across. Because motherfucker. Yo, G, it's in facts. I be telling people that's the reason it's hard to be friends with them. Yeah, bro. Like, I feel like both people with a lot of money and people with no money make this same mistake.
Probably.
Like, if you're trying to do something that's not too expensive, I feel like both of those groups of people just try to find the cheapest thing available.
Mm-hmm.
No, that is not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to find the best value for your money.
Yeah. And that's besides that, I'm not, look, motherfuckers can say what they want. I'm not staying in no place shitty look, we can find something that's
nigga, I'm not about to choose. No, fuck that. Anyway, on to this hotel. Yeah, it was like a month and a half ago, I think.
Because I don't be on that. I be on the Majestic one. Hold up.
Yeah, I get it. So, on to this hotel. Nigga.
Damn.
It was one of those hotels where, and I don't think this is hotel specific. I think this might be platform specific, because I think Chrissy, what's it, Expedia or something? I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those situations where you put the deposit down and you're supposed to pay the rest at the front desk. So Dion reserved her room, but she reserved her room with a Cash App card, and she keeps that Cash App card locked.
Oh shit!
So that nobody can get into her shit.
Right.
The hotel charged us the day that we got there. Luckily for us, Chrissy booked with an actual debit card. So our payment went through.
Right.
But again, Dion keeps her Cash App card locked. So when they tried to charge her card, it wouldn't go through, and they canceled her fucking room.
Oh no.
They canceled her room.
No.
That's strike one. That's
ass is what that is.
Right? So they straightened that out when we got there. All right, cool.
The room has been y'all see that's the problem with cancel culture, right?
Well, I'm sorry. I said when we got there. I think they straightened it out before we got there because once we got off the bus, she was on the phone with them. Like, hey, the fuck is happening? Yeah. So
it's cancel culture, yo. That shit is
shut the fuck up. So they straighten that out. We get in there. They tell us that they can put us on the same floor as them, but our room wasn't ready. Which I'm kind of confused as to how that's possible.
Yeah, interesting.
If you charged our card this morning and the money went through, why is our room not ready?
You're supposed to send somebody up there right now. Right. As soon as that shit went, go up there and get that room ready.
I don't understand. But anyway, okay. So they're like, all right, we're going to put y'all on the same floor. All right, cool. Okay. So her original room that Dion booked, they couldn't give it to her because somebody had booked it after they canceled her reservation.
Right.
But still, and that makes it even worse because still, by the time we got there, her room was ready.
Facts. So
but our room was not ready.
Yeah,
how the fuck did you? Okay.
That's crazy. Right. That's crazy.
Right. So we went to her room. We decided where we were going to go get something to eat. Decided we was going to stop at Walmart, grab a couple things. So we come down to the lobby, waiting on our Ubers. While we're waiting for our Ubers, we find out that our room is ready. All right, cool. But we didn't go upstairs.
Right, because
we wait for the Uber.
Right.
So we leave.
By the way, how much did that Uber cost you in New
York? Nigga. Some of them motherfuckers. I'm gonna get to that. So we went to eat. We went to Walmart. We came back to the hotel. And when that happened, we got back. We went upstairs, went in Dion's room for a little bit, went to our room. Chrissy was on the bed. I walked over to the bed because it's still kind of dark in the room. We had all the lights on. I'm like, all right. I made a joke about the bed because, like, when we moved in here, we got a king size bed.
Right.
So I made a joke about, I'm not used to not sleeping on a king size bed. That type, blah blah blah, ha 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 ha. But then I realized, this bed ain't actually even big enough for both of us to do.
Yo, listen, I had to deal with that when we went and did Dragon Con, and I flew my wife down there that weekend to bring books and all that. Yeah, that bed was not big enough, yo. It wasn't. But it wasn't super bad. What was super bad was when we had to take that go to that hotel room around the corner when our HVAC was fucked up. That they tried
no, absolutely.
Us and a twin. What the fuck?
Yeah, nigga. I think that's what that first bid was. GA said SPJ be giving y'all lucky there are laws. Facts. Because like, what the fuck you mean? Anyway, no, we ain't at that point yet. So she like, all right, call the front desk. I called them, and then I realized like, you booked everything. You talked to them. So she talking to them. They had the nerve,
the unmitigated gall,
the cheek,
the fucking cheek,
to try and say that since we had checked in a couple hours ago, they couldn't do anything.
What?
I don't give a fuck if we checked in at 4 p.m. and it's now 11:59 p.m.
Nigga.
That doesn't change the fact that we reserved the king size. Oh, my bad. I didn't say that part. I found out from Chrissy after I said that she reserved a king size bed.
Yo, they bugging, yo. You do realize that price factors into also the No, we not doing
None
that.
of that shit changes the fact that we reserved a king size bed. And this is not even close to being a king size bed. So then Chrissy mentioned something about getting money back, and then they was like, "Oh wait,
hold up. Oh, excuse me. We thought you said wing size bed. We got you. We got you."
Suddenly, they asked if we wanted to look at another room.
I bet they did.
How convenient! How convenient. So we went down to the front desk. We met the dude. The dude took us to another room to look at it. We went in there. It was late. We was ready to be in our room.
Of course you were.
A simple once over of the bed. It's bigger than the other one. All right, fine. Okay. We'll take this one.
Okay.
So we moved our stuff from that room to this room, went downstairs, swapped keys and all that other shit. I go to sit on the bed and I'm like, this isn't even a queen. Now, both of us can fit on it. Both of us can fit on it, but Chrissy was trying to argue me down that it was a queen. And the thing that I referenced to get her to realize that it wasn't is, in my apartment, I had a queen size bed. And when we would watch movies in my apartment, there was enough room on that bed for her and I and like a pizza. So like, no, nigga, on this bed in this hotel room, there's enough room for her and I.
On this day, in this place.
So yeah.
On this bed.
No. That was not a queen size bed.
No. It's hilarious.
So this isn't even to mention all of the little things that were dumb about our rooms. Like, for instance, Dion's safe in her room was broke. It had a note on it that said, "Please don't use."
Wait a minute. So you saying it wasn't safe?
Shut up. Oh my God. So yeah, it had a sign on it that said, "Please don't use." Her shower didn't really get hot. The showers were tiny. The furniture was old as fuck. The sink in our first room was busted up. Our second room had peeling wallpaper. 2 of the 4 elevators in the hotel didn't work. Like, it was so like much shit.
Heathens, yo.
Bruh.
Heathens.
There was so much shit wrong with this hotel. So after we got settled, we went down to Dion's room to bring in the festivities for the birthday girl. That was, of course, all that was fun. We had a long day ahead of us because of how things are structured and where we were staying. Right. We were going to be in Times Square pretty much that entire day. So what better to do than to start your day off with a good breakfast, right? And the hotel advertised
meal of the day.
Hotel advertised they got breakfast for us in the morning. I bet.
I already know how this is setting up.
So, nigga, what comes to mind when you hear continental breakfast?
You know what's funny about you asking me that? I've had this argument. And I've been in the shoes you're about. So that's why I knew where you was going. When I think of a continental breakfast, bro, I think of a traditional. All right, so you can have eggs. You have they got bagels there if you want a bagel or muffins or some shit like that. Coffee is sitting up there like that, motherfucker. You got some. In some cases, you have waffles. Thing with the waffles game up there, like it's a breakfast.
It's a veritable smorgasbord.
Fruit.
Okay. So to make sure I wasn't tripping, right? I had looked it up.
Yo, girl. GA said I used to work up the block from Times Square on 56th Street. I hate that place.
So to make sure I wasn't tripping, I looked it up, and I couldn't really find an actual consensus. But the closest that I could find to one was, toast,
right,
pastries, fruit, cereal, coffee, juice. Basically, effectively what you said, right? First of all, they didn't even say it was a continental breakfast. They just said breakfast. Second,
it wasn't a continental breakfast. It was more like a city size.
You stupid.
Maybe a borough.
So there was no cereal. There was only one kind of fruit, just bananas.
There
was one kind of. There was one kind of pastry.
Oh, DJ said cereal bars and coffee grinds. Nigga!
There was a couple different types of, actually, I don't even know if it was a couple different types of bread. There was bread. There were no bagels in New York. Well, actually, we were in New Jersey technically, but we still were.
Ew, that's
no bagels.
That's wild.
No eggs.
Again, my experiences, maybe the type of hotels that I got spoiled in, it's like when we went to Belize, shit was out. I still got the video up showing the breakfast. Like, yeah, like I'm with this. I can deal with this. What did they give you though?
I don't even remember. So here's the thing.
Oh my.
When I went down with Dion and Chrissy. When I went into the little area where the food is, I was like, I'm gonna go sit over here because it's kind of filling up and sit down and make sure we got somewhere to sit, and y'all go ahead. But I'm not smelling food. Like, I'm not smelling breakfast. But the line was long as shit. So I'm like, all right, it must be something over there. Yo, the birthday girl came back with nothing.
Oh my.
I think Chrissy came back with a croissant, I think. And I don't remember what Dion came back with. It wasn't shit over there, my guy.
Yo, that's ass.
Yo, it wasn't shit over there.
That's ass, yo.
So
yikes.
So
you ain't get no cereal, not even the little box cereal.
No, nigga. No.
I would have been livid.
Yo, full disappointment. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I would have been livid.
Full disappointment. So luckily, there were breakfast sandwiches, but the ones that you had to heat up.
Yo said you should have went to the halal cart.
Nigga. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, and I think they didn't have any meat. Like, they were just bread, cheese, and egg. But again, it was the ones you had to heat up. That's what was taking the fucking line so long, is because people had to sit there and wait for that. Anyway, so yeah, full fucking disappointment. So
I would have been livid, yo.
Luckily, we still had a bunch of time before we had to leave.
Okay.
So I ordered me and Chrissy some bacon, egg, and cheese bagels from one of them spots. Nigga, they were amazing. Nigga. That area, the bread, just all of the bread, because the water is different from here. So like all of their bread is like different. It's just different. It's real. It's them bagels. Anyway, so we went in and ordered. We went in and ordered bacon, egg, and cheese bagels. They were good. So next, it was on to our almost 8-hour day in Times Square. We went to It's Sugar. We went to this pizza place. Of course, the pizza was good. We went to this Belgium cafe. What up, sis? Oh, Desert Hike. Oh, shit.
Wow.
We went to It's Sugar. We went to this pizza place. We went to this Belgium cafe because they had this chocolate bar that one of the girls had been wanting for like 2 years or some shit like that. And we happened to walk by it, and a picture of the bar was on the goddamn thing.
Well,
so it's like, yeah, we got to go in here.
Well,
we got to go in here.
You have to.
So that it was that bar was like $10.
That's
nigga. Yo, listen. When I tasted it, I understood. I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
GA said,
like, looking at it,
spent 8 hours in Times Square. Bless your heart, my boy.
Bruh. Looking at it, I was like, this ain't worth no goddamn $10. But then I tasted it.
He was like,
and I was like, oh, I see where they're going with this. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Okay, but
all right. Nigga, listen.
Money.
Listen. Anyway, so we went to Five Below, Target, Old Navy, Disney Store, Forever 21. Now, Dell's Barbecue and Junior's. Mm-hmm. Now, each of the stores were, of course, mega versions of themselves.
Of course.
But y'all know I'm not really a shopping nigga. So, I mean, it was cool, I guess, but like, I don't, the fuck I'm here for.
No, I feel you.
I feel like if you're going to go shopping, that's the other thing about me. Like, I feel like if you're going to go shopping away from home, then why aren't you going to the places you don't have at home?
Very true.
Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but when I talked about the Miami trip and how excited these motherfuckers was to go to Target, and I'm like,
yo, we have Target at home.
We have Target at home. Like, what are you?
This is a slice of home.
We were in Miami. It's not like we was in another country.
Yo, it's funny you say that because every time we go to Florida, I would tell my we going to a different country.
That's funny.
This ain't even the same.
That's hilarious. But you know, it's a 14-year-old, a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and 21-year-old. So yeah, of course.
I can see it.
So
shit. Hold up, keep going. I can hear you.
Now I can see if you need something specific, because like we went to Walmart the first night. That was a reason for us to go to Walmart. Like, it made sense to go to Walmart. So like, if you get something specific, I understand just going to it, you know. But if you're just shopping to shop, I feel like go to things that are unique to that place. But that's just me again. And I wasn't trying to spend a whole bunch of money anyway. So obviously a lot of walking. But the girls are having fun. So at the end of the day, that's all that mattered for real. And then they ran out of gas much quicker than we thought they would. But they was trying to tough it out. I can't remember what store we were in, but once we got to that store, we had to go to the bathroom. So me and Chrissy, I held the stuff she had when she went to the bathroom. She held the stuff I had when I went to the bathroom. We went to go find the girls. Why they all sitting down? They all sitting down, tired as fuck. I'm like, y'all tired? So we moved our dinner reservation up a little bit, and they tried to front like they still wanted to be out and about, but nah. Like, Dion and Chrissy almost fell for it, but when we got away from the girls, I was like, yo, don't listen to them. Clearly they're tired. They just don't want to. And I confirmed this with one of them afterwards. I was like, they just are on vacation, so they want to do what, you know, they want to be able to be out and about and doing things. That's really what that is. And I can't remember which one I asked, but I was like, you all right? She was like, yeah. I said, you tired? I said, yeah. I said, you just don't want to go back to the hotel, right? Yeah. She was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I said, yeah, no, I understand. I get how that goes. I remember those days. So on to this motherfucking, like, nothing to that point had been surprising. You know, the hotel not being what it should have been was only not surprising because before we got to the hotel, Chrissy said, like, hey, it doesn't have that great of reviews. When she said that, I was like, all right, I have an idea of potentially what we could be up against. So that ended up not being super surprising. All the potential negative stuff that I mentioned so far, none of that was surprising. I know we're going to New York. I know what that entails. I know what that means. Sis said, facts, SBJ, just like going out to eat, I always try to order something I'm not likely to get it. Yeah. That's how I feel about things. I'm not going to say I always end up doing that, but I like to try to. I like to try to just because if I'm in a different situation, I'm going to try something different. I tend to want to. But sometimes, I also understand the whole thing about comfort and the whole thing about anxiety. Because, like, for instance, I'm one of those people who does the whole rewatching the same movies and same shows. They say that's an anxiety thing. I don't typically have anxiety, but it is a comfort thing. So I understand it. So, like I said, nothing to that point had been surprising. I didn't really expect too many things that happened to go differently than they did. But let's get to the surprises. Anybody ever heard of Dallas Barbecue? It's apparently a super popular restaurant. Not even apparently. It's absolutely a super popular restaurant there. And the Times Square location is absolutely popular. So people rant and rave about this place.
So it must be awesome.
Well, you would think, right? When we went to catch our reservation, the line was literally out the door and down the block.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
When I say out the door and down the block, that's not me exaggerating. It was literally out the door and down the block. And we walked by several restaurants on our way to go to the place.
Mm-hmm.
None of the other ones were out the door and down the block. Not to say
clearly evidence that it's awesome.
You would think so. Well, GA, don't bury the lead. So, like I said, it wasn't just busy. No, it was Times Square busy.
Which is a whole different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we walked by several restaurants. None of them had the same situation. That shit was trash.
Bazora.
Nigga. Let me be more specific. So their drink menu is impressive. Their signature sticky sauce, amazing. Almost a revelation. That's about it. Nobody really liked what they got. I don't think anybody actually finished their food.
Yo, that's crazy.
I got the ribs and the chicken with a side of fries.
Oh, you should have loved that.
Right. The ribs were okay. Not great. Not as tender as I would have wanted them to be. And that sauce was not.
You would have cooked them, huh?
I mean, listen, I ain't going too long. Nothing like that. But sauce wasn't my favorite. But it wasn't nothing I would really complain about. The ribs, it's not really complaining about. It just weren't the best. Right. The chicken, so it was a fried chicken breast.
How do you fuck up chicken?
Nigga. So it had some kind of honey sauce that was similar to the sticky sauce. So the sauce was good. But I cut into the chicken. That was the driest chicken breast. Fried chicken breast I had ever had at a restaurant.
You're already eating white meat.
Right.
Typically dried than dark meat.
Right.
And on top of that, they dehydrated the fuck out of it with silicon dioxide or some other shit, some other drying agent. They put on that motherfucker.
Right.
Fuck.
Right. Like, what is happening? So, and like I said, the fries were subpar as well.
Again.
So, like, how do you fuck up fries?
Yeah, yo, I don't understand what's happening here.
Like, right. Dion had been there before and liked it, but this time she didn't like a single thing she had. So clearly there's been some dip in quality from its glory days or whatever.
It must have been dip in quality from when GA went, because he's like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Chrissy got the tenders. The tenders were amazing. Because they had the sticky sauce. That, like I said, that sticky sauce was great.
But also tender.
I mean, yeah, and they were not as dry as that fucking chicken breast. They were nowhere near as dry as that chicken. That chicken, no.
Nothing was as dry.
Larissa talk about she took us on a desert hike. I went on one when I bit into that chicken breast. Cause nigga. So like I said, nobody really liked that shit. Like Chrissy, as she just said, she was the only person to really like her food because you couldn't really. I say you couldn't mess it up, but how do you mess up fries anyway?
Hey, yo, Marissa is wilding. She said dry as hell, I bet. She said typo, but it stays. Some of y'all hills are dry.
That's funny. That is hilarious. So we leave there, and our last stop was to go get some cheesecake from Junior's. Now, this is the famous place from Making the Band where Diddy made them walk across the bridge to get him cheesecake and all that other shit. So we go in, and we got the cheesecake to go.
You got cheesecake? I mean, cheesecake?
Cheesecake, yeah. We got a cheesecake to go.
No Diddy?
No Diddy. He wasn't there. He busy. He got something else he's taking care of right now. We were all exhausted by this point, and half of us were still.
Oh, I know you were because Chrissy put a picture up there on Facebook. She was white. White.
Yes, nigga, it was a whole thing. It's time to go back to the hotel. So, nigga, the prices for these fucking Ubers. So the one that I ended up paying for was like $75.
My God, man,
something like that. Yo, that shit was like, that shit was like $80. Like,
all right, so. How far the drive?
It was 20 minutes distance, not time because we were in Times Square, but distance like a 20-minute ride.
My nigga, I'm gonna say this again. We went to Panama.
Right.
It was $5 anywhere in the city.
Basically, right. So
70.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was damn near 80. It was actually with tax, it might have been above 80.
Oh my.
For like a 20-minute ride. Now. It said the driver would be to us in 7 minutes. Now, of course, it took closer to 15 because we're in Times Square.
Of course.
This nigga had the nerve to message me in this goddamn app and say, hey, I'm on the way, but I'm stuck in traffic. No shit, sir. What do you mean? Huh? What do you mean you're stuck in traffic? I'm here. I see what's going on. Okay, whatever. So
that shit is so ass, yo.
You done pissed me off so bad because what you mean?
What you mean?
Talking about?
Go ahead. What
no shit. What? Anyway, so when he finally got to us, he was like the most out of place Uber driver in the world.
Why was he?
So for those who don't know how traffic in Manhattan works. It's dense. It's aggressive.
When he says dense, he means not just how many cars there. He means it's stupid.
Dense, it's aggressive. It's slow, but it moves. We had the most passive Uber driver in Times Square somehow.
Wow.
Because it was 7 of us, we couldn't all fit in one Uber. So Dion called her Uber. Their Uber came like 5 to 7 minutes after ours came. But somehow,
somewhere,
she had gotten back to the hotel, took the girls that were with her upstairs to her room, came back down to the lobby, and was on her way out of the lobby to go to the gas station by the time we pulled up.
Right.
Even though our Uber got there 5 to 7 minutes before hers.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, sir? Like, he did not look like he was used to driving in New York at all.
Like he just got there the other day, got a cash.
Yeah, and like just threw his Uber joint on, like, which would explain him being like, "Oh, I'm stuck in traffic," because you're not used to this shit at all in any way, shape, or form. You just wanted some money, so you drove from somewhere else to come to. Okay, so yeah, that was how that worked. I walked down to the store. After we got back to the room, she told me the birthday girl hated the cheesecake and threw that shit in the trash.
Yo,
I'm like, damn. So I'm like, shit. All right, let me try mine. Tried mine. That shit was aggressively less than okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like, what the fuck is, like, what is happening here? Oh no, I was upset. Like I said, I wouldn't say I hated it, but it wasn't great. Like, so that's another place whose quality is probably faded compared to the representation of its glory days.
It's like GA said, those famous places be trash.
That's the thing.
It's the restaurants that pop up out of nowhere and disappear just as fast. They be hitting.
Right. That's the thing. So the last day, for breakfast, we got them bagel, them bacon and cheese. Hitting. But we only spent like 4 hours in Times Square that day. We went to this supposed dispensary that apparently wasn't actually the dispensary. I don't know. I didn't go inside, but apparently, like, they was on some bullshit. So ain't nobody getting nothing from there. So that was disappointing for them. Then we went back to the pizza spot, got some more pizza. Then we went back to that Belgium cafe, and I think they got another one of those chocolate bars. Then we came home. So I took a second to think that maybe it's because I'm biased that I felt the way that I felt about portions of this trip. But no. I mean, I am biased, but it was also as bad as I thought it was. Like, we already have the next situation booked because I was so appalled by what we went through with this hotel that I just fussed at Dion and went on Airbnb and went ahead. I was like, look, I'm about to book this shit right now because we need a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
girls need a palate cleanser.
That's a fact, bro.
You need to see.
That's a fact.
We need to see something different than this shit.
Yo,
like,
what a way to no, but you know that hurts though. Like, that hurts the trip when you go back to the hotel room.
But again, thankfully, in the moment, them girls don't know much.
Oh yeah, that's
so in the moment, it didn't really affect them negatively. Right. So that's what mattered to me. Like I said, the overall trip was great because we hung out with them, we had a good time, they had a good time. Overall trip was great. It was just the stuff, like I said, the hotel was terrible, and then the stuff about New York that I already knew I was going to have an issue with. So, because it's New York, like. So, yeah, but overall the shit was great. But again, because of the shit that was happening at the hotel, that last night, Dion came in our room. I'm like, nah, you never again.
Never again.
And I'm about to book this thing right now. We about to take the girls, So, needless to repeat, this was, of course, a trip and not a vacation. Mm-hmm. Bad stuff aside, like I said, even just the need to be in defense mode the way that I was enough to make a trip and not a vacation.
Right.
Our next thing with them is going to be in March, and that's going to be more of a vacation because I won't have as strong of an urge to be on security mode.
Sure.
Number one, it'll be a place I'm more familiar with. That's self-explanatory as to why that would be easier. Mm-hmm. Number two, our transportation situation will be way more reliable.
Absolutely.
This is probably the most impactful one because, like, for instance, if they want to do something that I don't want to do, it's more likely that I'll be okay with them going without me. And it wouldn't take as long to get to them if I have to.
Right.
And number three, sheer population density. Like, again, because like when we got to Times Square the first time, it was like, all right, hey, y'all, take everything out your damn coat pockets. We're not doing that. Everything that must be in a pocket, it's on your pocket, on your person.
Right.
Cool. Stay together. Make sure that there's an adult behind you at all times.
Correct. Oh, you're in New York. There's plenty of adults behind you.
Nah, nigga.
Plenty. No, like, see, this is also, and this is also me showing my age too, but I'm good with that. I favor more vacations and less trips.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to. Right there, I'm stopping right there. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to. Like, I don't want to come back and then be more tired than when I went, because we did so much. And I've had those type of trips before. I remember one time, man, we went down Florida, and we did the whole Disney Universal thing. We walked so much all day long that by the end of the evening, it wasn't even about me just relaxing in the hotel. I'm going to sleep.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm good
on
that.
Like, that's the thing. I don't want to be worn out from my
vacation. I don't know.
But again, because of where we were going, I already knew that was going to be an aspect of it.
Yeah.
And because of the reason we were going, it didn't matter, because
that's true.
It's for the girls. So like I don't want anybody to hear this and think that I had a bad time. That's not what happened. It's just there are certain things that at my current age and my experience level with vacations, I know what I like and I know what I don't like. It's just
your current experience level with vacations, with traveling, with booking shit, all of that. Yeah.
Right. So like it's just simply a matter of that. Like matter of fact, I don't think we ever even alluded to the fact that the hotel was trash while in front of the girls.
No, I'm glad y'all didn't do that. Y'all didn't do that.
Yeah. That's not for them. Like, they saw some of it. So like they're not dumb. So some of it they're absolutely.
I was in a hotel room one time where the damn hair dryer caught on fire. So, look.
Because like that's the one thing. Like I generally don't do hotels in the country. So like Airbnb anyway. So next week. Oh, by the way, I know we didn't say this, and this is my fault because so much shit has been going on that I've been losing track of time. This is the last episode for the year. For those that don't, for those that don't.
This would actually be a perfect time to have the last episode, and then for me in another day or two, shoot down there to Panama. But it ain't happening.
I mean, it's not happening like that. But yeah, so next week, me and Chrissy going to Atlantic City.
Always see this shit. This is the type of shit that be really
what
these motherfuckers with this traveling shit.
No, listen, Chrissy felt like I should do something for my birthday. It's really that simple. It's really that simple.
She ain't had to pull no teeth though, did she?
No, listen, hold on. No, not at all, nigga. I was like, all right, bet. Like, yes, let's do it.
He's like, yes. You thought you didn't get the whole yes out.
But let's go into this year in review thing. So I'm gonna start off because so at this point y'all should be familiar with things like rap and stuff like that.
You don't know that.
I mean, we've done it several times. So there are several different raps that I'm involved that involve me because of shit we be doing. So first, let's go to the rap for the show. And I hate that Spotify has changed some of this. Like some of these different raps, you can only look at on mobile.
Yeah, it's
like, what are you talking about? And YouTube music, you can only look at it on mobile. Spotify listening rap, you can only look at it that on mobile now. So that's dumb. Why is this taking so long?
I don't know.
Excuse me. All right, I might not be doing that one first. Oh, okay, hold on. All right. So the rap for the show is moving dumb slow. All right, let's go. Rap season is here. Fans really loved your show in 2024. Did they?
Did they really?
Did they? Is that a thing that actually happened? Let's find out what y'all talking about. It's a whole production. You took it a whole new level this year. Yeah, sometimes they do. Our followers went up 4%.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely something. It's moving dumb slow. You hear my computer?
I hear it. Your computer is like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this shit.
No, I know what it is. I messed up. I should have restarted my computer before we started.
Oh yeah, I always do that, bro. I always do that because I should be overtaxed.
78% of our listeners discovered us this year.
What? 78%?
That's what it say. That's what it say.
Wow.
78% of your listeners discovered you this year.
That's crazy.
That's dope. Your fans have a clear favorite. It's the Eminem episode. Yep, the Death of Slim Shady has been listened to more than any other episode this year, on Spotify specifically.
Right.
I forgot. This is Spotify specifically. It was streamed 478% more than the average episode.
Damn.
Nigga.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I wonder with stuff like that. Like, did people think that we were saying Eminem was dead?
I don't know. That's a good question, though.
I don't know. So let's see. Listeners' age. Our highest demographic is still 35 to 44.
That's not surprising.
Lowest demographic is 18 to 24. Young niggas. Let's see. Facts says, Marissa said, when you need a vacation from the vacation.
Facts.
That's the other thing. Like, I already don't like trips over vacations, but then on top of that, when trips happen and they end on a Sunday, in 2024, your show traveled the globe. You were streamed in 9 countries. United States was the top country, of course. What else you got? Is there really anything else left? I don't remember. Your fans have great taste, obviously. Our fans, number one genre of music listen to. I'll let you guess.
Oh, country, easily.
Obviously, it's hip hop. Now, what did piss me off, and I gotta fuss at y'all niggas about this.
Oh shit!
Your listeners' other top podcasts. Number one was The Breakfast Club. I'm not as mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that I feel about that, but whatever. Here's the issue that I have. Guess what number 2 was?
Who? What? Who?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Let me tell you why I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised because Joe Rogan is probably one of the biggest podcasters on the planet, which means it stands to reason that a certain percentage of our fan base would be overlap. Like,
yeah.
It
number 3 was
what up, Free Thinker?
What up? Number 3 was Button. Number 4 was The Brothers of the Serpent.
I've never heard of that.
Number 5 was Bill Simmons. Music again. Number one genre, hip hop. Number 2 genre, rap. Number 3 genre, East Coast hip hop.
Hilarious.
Audiobook genres, sci-fi and fantasy, religion and spirituality, and self-help. That's kind of surprising.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Number 1 audiobook genre was sci-fi and fantasy. Number 2 was religion, and number 3 was self-help.
That's weird.
No, number 2 was religion and spirituality. Number 3 was self-help.
That's weird.
Y'all get the gist. I'm over this one because it's running slow. All right, so that was the wrap for the Black Culture Geek Show. Let me do my personal rap while this shit is loading. My personal listener rapped from Spotify, so shit that I listened to this year.
I ain't even look up mine because I don't really be. I listen more to the YouTube music on YouTube than I do on Spotify.
Right. So, life moves fast. No shit. Get to the actual information. While it's not competition, you've changed, and so has your listening. December, November, June. Excuse me. June. What about June? June was your theatrical West End Broadway phase. You were listening to Hamilton's soundtrack, probably. Say July. No, October.
It does, sis. It does.
October was your mood music throwback pop R&B music. Okay. You listened to 994 artists this year.
Did you?
But one had a special place in your heart and ears. Who was my top listened to artist?
R. Kelly.
Lupe.
Oh, damn.
No, I don't stream R. Kelly. I only listen to R. Kelly on my YouTube music because it's not streaming him.
Right. He ain't getting no money.
Ain't giving him no money. Yeah, fuck all that. I'm a top 0.5% fan of Lupe, apparently.
Wow.
That's not, I feel like that's not possible, right? Not that I don't listen to Lupe. Of course I listen to Lupe.
Yeah, but
I'm in the top 0.5%. That's highly unlikely.
It's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
Sure.
It's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
Who else got a lot of play this year? Big reveal. Why is there a countdown? I don't need it to be a countdown. All right, so top 5 artists: Lupe, Jay-Z, John Legend, Drew Hill, Usher. That's not really surprising. Actually, Jay-Z is surprising because I don't really listen to Jay-Z that. I don't think I listen to Jay-Z that much, but apparently I do. And here's John Legend's face for some reason. Come on. All right, top artists: Lupe, Jay-Z, John Legend, Drew Hill, Usher. Top songs. Actually, I have my list for top songs on the desktop because that you can look at on the desktop for some reason.
Right.
So for those who ask, and I'm pretty sure you want to know,
yes,
Not Like Us came in at number 12.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Apparently, I listened to 28,345 minutes of music through Spotify.
What?
Well, so what happens is, and it probably is what shaped my rap a little bit, is whenever we have stuff over the house, I would throw on Spotify.
Right.
So,
that makes sense.
The vast majority of my Spotify listening is not me personally listening to Spotify.
Yo, DJ said, now you don't listen to Jay-Z.
That's not what I said, nigga. I said I don't listen to Jay-Z like that. Because this nigga favorite rapper Jay-Z. So that was the Spotify rap. Let me do my YouTube music. YouTube music is a completely different story. My YouTube music for listeners is shit, I can't say it no more.
Yo, that'd be the problem right there.
Oh, here it is. Get your recap. Okay. Yeah, it's stupid. It's hard to find. Like the year's not over. Can I at least look at it until January? Like
facts. Which actually weirded me out too, because if you think about it, why y'all doing that now? Like, we could have went another whole month left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. That's how I feel about it too. But it is what it is. Your listening this year is giving. Cause YouTube's does it differently than Spotify. It's because it's Google, so Google has all this information. Y'all know, I don't need to explain that to you. Your listening this year is giving wild, extra, weepy, and hip hop. Okay, you racked up 2,814 minutes of listening this year because YouTube Music is not my primary source of listening to music. Actually, I'm sorry, streaming. This is only counting.
Did you find yours on the app or
on the YouTube Music app? Yeah. And it doesn't count the songs that I uploaded to YouTube Music. It only counts. So honestly, I may have listened to the songs that I've uploaded to YouTube Music more than anything this year, but because it don't count those, it only has the things that I've streamed from YouTube Music. Right. It says you explored 281 different songs, but one became your theme song, Euphoria. Kendrick Lamar. First listen date, May 20th. Total listen time, 145 minutes. Top 5. because again, I don't really use YouTube Music to listen to. So
Right.
the top 5 songs on YouTube Music that I listened to in 2024: Euphoria, Meet the Grams, 616 in LA, Not Like Us, and then Ludacris, Slap. Yeah, once again, 1 star. Kendrick Lamar, 6 hours, 12 songs. How much of a fan were you? Let's find out. My top artists. Somehow Lupe made it to this side too. My top 5 artists are Kendrick, Lupe, Eminem, Ludacris, and Pusha T. April was your top month with Lupe. June was your top month with Kendrick. November was your most adventurous month.
Adventurous. What does that mean exactly?
I listen to the most different types of music, I guess. Because by November, whenever I would throw on YouTube Music, I would like go and listen to shit I hadn't listened to in a while on YouTube Music.
Right.
So I'd pull up a Panic at the Disco album or Fall Out Boy album or Rhapsody's album or whatever. So I would say if your year were a movie, you would be the Enigma. Your listening always keeps us guessing. You jump genres and go against the trends. You really commit to the artists you love. My top albums were Recovery from Eminem, Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy, Lupe Fiasco's The Cool, and Lupe Fiasco Food and Liquor. This year certainly had its ups and downs. Your musical moves were 9% chill, 16% reflective, 16% energizing, 28% sad,
damn,
29% dramatic. All right, so that's it for YouTube Music. All right, to the artist joint. It's being slow. Just like let me do it on my phone.
Of course.
They need to work on that, bro. It should not be that resource intensive. That is fucking with my 3090. Like that's ridiculous, yo. All right, so artist rap for 2024. Let's go.
Which platform?
Spotify.
Okay.
I didn't look at anybody else.
Me either.
Yeah. 2024 was quite a year. It feels good to be heard. Oh, with the caveat for both of us that some of our most listened to shit on Spotify this year got taken down.
It took it down.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. 2024 was quite a year. Come on, keep it going. This year you had 267 listeners, 1,200 streams, 131,000 seconds, 2.86 thousand minutes, 47 hours in one day. Where in the world have you been? 40 countries. Top countries: U.S., Mexico, Brazil, Romania, and Australia. Romania? That's very interesting.
Romania?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's right. Just like there's only one of you can only have one top song, and that is They'll Never Get Me Down. I thought it was going to be Power. I thought it was going to be Power. But apparently it's They'll Never Get Me Down. Okay. Come on. There's no way around it. Your fans love your music. Your tracks were saved 113 times. Added to 15 playlists. Let's break down. Your most shared tracks that never get me down. Number 2 was Power. And apparently number 3 was I Know Nothing, which is funny because that song is like
No, nothing.
That song is like 3 years old at this point. But anyway. Next, you leveled up this year, plus 3% listeners, plus 63% saves, plus 22% playlist ads, plus 105% followers. So growth.
Growth is always nice.
Your canvases were seen 61 times. Your music is making someone's day right now. You're a top 10 artist for 4 fans. That's interesting. You're a top 5 artist for 3 fans. What sick individuals out here have you in their top 5 with Spotify?
It might. Well, that's a different type of stat.
But yeah, because that don't mean that they like you. That mean they listen to you that much.
Yeah.
Like who the fuck? Who the fuck only has Spotify to listen to me? Basically. All right, that's all for that one, and then I already did the podcast. So yeah, that's it. That's it for those particular things.
So I don't have a lot of mine. I have some because I didn't even have the YouTube music app on my phone.
Right.
I listen to it on YouTube, literally on YouTube behind my computer. But I do have my Spotify rap one and a few things on that. So let's go through that. Yeah. So this year, and you can tell I obviously have checked out of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because it has said this year I've had 2,500 listeners, right? Which this for me is the least year I've had since they started doing this shit. But I'm wondering if a lot of that has to do with them taking down fucking music.
Right. Facts.
Right. That shit really blew me, yo. So look, typically through the course of a year, it's not like I'm always setting the world on fire every year. I'm not. But I typically get close to 100,000 streams because they took my music down 31K.
Right.
Says my music was streamed for 4.69 million seconds, 78,000 minutes, and 1,300 hours, 54 days, 7 weeks, 1 month. Who cares? So, where in the world have you been? So in
2,000 countries, even though it's not
2004. No, 60, you're so stupid. 69 countries.
Giggity.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking 6'9" guard. Let's see. Of course, the top countries: United States, 2, United Kingdom, 3, Canada, 4. Well, now this has changed because typically Australia is ahead of Canada. So Canada number 3, Australia number 4, New Zealand number 5.
Huh.
Right. Yeah. See, I had one top song. Oh, what a coincidence. The top song was one of the songs they took the fuck down. The Blood of Zolokar. That was the top song. It had, before they took it down, 6,444 plays, 242 listeners, whatever. Let me see. No way around it. Your fans love your music. I mean, the ones that listen, yeah. Tracks was saved 1,302 times. So that's not bad as far as the saves. Right. That's cool. Added to 171 playlists. Your fans know how to spread the love. You shared your music 48 times. Let's break that down. By direct link, 79%. Facebook, 10%. Instagram, 6%. WhatsApp, 2%. WhatsApp? That's weird. And text, 2%. That's weird. WhatsApp? Who's sharing music via WhatsApp? That's crazy.
Hey.
my most shared tracks was one of the ones they took down, Blood of Zolokar. Number 2, Ballad of the Non-Believer. Listen, that's been that way since 2012. I'm not holding you. Like, that stays consistently. It just stays consistently high on almost every metric, with the exception of the one of the songs I got with Graydon, Worlds Collide. That one be up there too. Broken, number 3, featuring SBJ.
Indeed.
And let's see. You leveled up this year. Yeah, did I really? Oh, okay. I see where I leveled up. I see. 5% saves. That's up. Playlist adds 26%. And followers 10%. All right. I ain't mad at that. Now that's next level. Not really. They capping. Let's talk new music. Oh, I didn't expect this. This year you had your biggest release week with Harbinger of Death. But I think I know why. I hadn't released anything in a minute. So I think that's why that did that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Let's see. Your music is making someone's day right now. Doubt it. Have you heard my shit? Says you're a top 10 artist for 67 fans. You're a top 5 artist for 35 fans. And the number 1 spot goes to you. You're a top artist for all of 6 fans. Thanks, guys.
Wait, the number 1 top or top 5, top 3? Okay. So wait. So that means that, okay, let me rephrase my statement. Nobody has Spotify just to listen to me. Because I didn't have a number 1 stat. I had a top 5 and a top 3. My bad. I apologize.
Yo. It will, and I will guarantee you that it will always look like this because of my ambivalence to the platform.
It don't matter. 6 people have Spotify because of you.
That's a
because of you.
No,
you are their top fan. Like
no,
number 1. Nah, nigga. 6 people have Spotify just solely because Tune's music is accessible on the platform.
And I'm one of them. Listen. Listen.
God damn it.
No, nigga. Yo, listen. Since we talking about that shit, I think Apple has something similar, but I ain't even going to look at that shit.
Yeah,
but
let me see if I can find it real quick.
My rantings about how I feel about streaming services are very well known by anybody that has listened to me talk about them over the years. I think they're shit. I think it's a scam. I think in any other genre of business, a situation such as the record companies owning pieces of the streaming services would not be a thing. That shit would be illegal as fuck, right? That would be like the record companies to turn the clock backwards. That would be like the record companies owning a piece of every radio station.
Right.
Back in the day. Like, this shit is, as much as I think the idea that these motherfuckers be boosting shit and doing that, no one should be surprised at that. Nobody. Least of all him, because he didn't fucking benefited from that shit more than almost anybody in recent years. So anytime we seeing your face on fucking gospel playlists, come on, B. Why is your face on a gospel playlist? Fuck out of here. But
yeah, it was on like bluegrass playlist.
Come on, man. Come on. Sean P says all my listens are on Amazon Music, Bandcamp, or sometime YouTube for Tune, Gray, and all GU. rarely listen ever on Spotify. I really believe that's the case for a lot of people. But the argument they make is that it was a point in time when the idea of buying music was offensive to consumers.
Yeah.
Because they could get it for free. So they would argue that they made it possible for people to, quote unquote, purchase music again, even if it's in just way with streams and their ads and shit like that. But all they wound up doing is consolidating more of the money at the top for themselves. That's what the fuck they did. Right? That's what the fuck they did, which is why your streaming payout per stream is 0.003. All right, that's why. Title's a little higher, but it still ain't nothing to write home to mom about and shit. The shit is abysmal. Yeah, pretty much. GA said Drake showed himself to be everything I thought he was this year. Listen, a lot of us saw that. A lot of us saw it earlier, but we were shouted down because they liked them. You know, all right, cool. So then when he tried to be tough, a lot of people was willing to overlook it. I was like, oh, all right. Oh, he tough? He tough to y'all now? Y'all think he tough? Cool. That's tough. Now, truthfully, if he was convincing to audiences outside of the specific hip-hop genre, nothing I can say about that because they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. But those inside the genre who was, if you are a native to the hip-hop genre and you thought that nigga was tough because of mob ties and shit like that, a pox on you. A pox on you. Like, what the fuck? But no, he was there, Cool Herc. He was there.
You stupid.
He was there, Melly Mel. Like
I hate your guts so much.
He was there, Grandmaster.
So much.
I mean, you know,
so much.
And we said something back then.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, GA. We said something.
So I see my Apple shit. 501 total minutes played. 62 listeners, 10 countries. Top played song for the year. Come on, bro. Power. Okay, there we go. That's what I expected for Spotify, but it's for Apple for some reason. Top played song is Power.
GA, we're in the same place. GA, I saw it from the beginning. But as long as he was playing nice and being the sensitive kid, all right, y'all like that.
Yo, the top city for Apple Music is Frankfurt, Germany.
Right, Frankfurt.
Nigga, what?
Yo, you'd be surprised, bro. They listen
songs
to
were discovered 12 times on Shazam. They'll never get me down. Was my top Shazam song.
Never Get You Down.
Yeah, that was my top Shazam song, and that's everything. All
right. So I think I pulled it up. I'm not sure. Highlight reel. Yeah, my shit won't load in.
That's dumb.
Like it'll start off with total minutes played 16,249 minutes played this year by 948 listeners across 35 countries. Top played song. Fans play one of your songs again and again and again. Ballad of the Non-Believer. Since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Top cities. Out of 286 cities worldwide, the city's fans couldn't get enough. Jacksonville, Florida? What? Top Shazam song. The songs were discovered 117 times on Shazam. This song sparked the most interest. Big Daddy Reaper? That's odd, bro. That's odd. Minutes, songs, cities. Okay. So what are we doing here? Oh, it's just the card with everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
What was your top city again?
Jacksonville, Florida. How?
Well, look at it. That's more understandable than Frankfurt, Germany. Like what?
Yo, you'd be surprised, man. Like they be listening to hip hop out there in Germany.
Yeah.
You know? And it don't necessarily be the stars, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because, like, yes, there's people that are well known globally, but also they don't know if you are underground sensation or nothing here in the States. They don't know. They just heard it and liked it. So they playing it.
Thanks.
Marissa said maybe Jacksonville thought it was Big Daddy Reefer.
Yo.
Ass.
Hilarious.
Oh man, that's funny.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
So yeah, those are the creative wrap up types. Let me see who we got. Okay.
I passed 50,000 all-time plays on Apple. So thanks.
I mean, because you're you. Fuck.
It is what it is. DJ said his most played album this year was Michael.
Yeah, Killer Mike. Okay. I'm not giving him no official streams. I like the album though.
Right. The album is dope.
But I'm not giving him no official. No, I'm not giving him no official streams. He be on some bullshit.
He did.
Also, so this is not always a black and white thing, but in my experience, it's always been a black and white thing. Hair, right? So obviously, this is the craziest thing. So it's annoying. I don't like.
BCGz was North Korea.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
We had. I've said this before. I don't like attention, so it's a whole thing. So leave me the fuck alone. But it's not gonna happen. It's not how that works. So finally getting all my goddamn locks combed out and going to work, and these motherfucking people. So the people that I know and actually have some type of relationship with,
some kind of rapport.
Yeah, they're fine.
Of course.
I don't have any issue with them.
Of course not.
Saying things and all that other stuff. Yeah, y'all my peoples.
Yeah.
Y'all my peoples. And again, so let me be clear. That part isn't the black and white thing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that part isn't the black and white thing. There's several Caucasian Americans that work in my job that I fuck with.
Of course.
So yeah, no, I don't got no problem with them saying anything. But even among them, the thing that I said is a black and white thing occurred. So,
damn it.
So it was this. Actually, it's funny because the thing that I said was a black and white thing. The two people involved, the person that is my people's was the Caucasian. Person I didn't rock with was the African American.
Right.
So
and you keep your mouth shut because
I was looking at a problem on somebody's computer, and the one that I don't fuck with, I feel her touch my hair.
Oh,
nigga.
Oh.
And the crazy thing about that is, I had specifically been hiding my hair from her. She also has locks.
How are you hiding your hair?
Hoods.
Oh.
Yeah, hoodie. I had every time she came around, I specifically made sure that I had my hoodie up.
It's funny.
But this particular time, I didn't think about it because it was an issue that I had to go fix.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went to go do my job.
Of course,
I'm sitting there working on it, and then I feel her touch my fucking hair.
No asking. No, just entitled. Let me grab this nigga by his hair and drag him down the block.
And again, this might be misleading, but that's not the black and white thing. Because again, this one was black.
Right.
The black and white thing was when she touched my hair and she said something about it, the white person that I do fuck with, my peoples, was like, yeah, that's all his now.
Hmm?
And before I got to even say anything out of my mouth, the one I don't fuck with, but was like, it's always been.
Always been. What are you talking about? Are you stupid or are you dumb?
The funny thing that it reminded me of, the only time I've ever had this happen, well, I've never had this happen because I've never combed my locks out before, but the only time I've ever had this questioned was white people and my old grandfather. Because towards the end of his time, every time he saw me, James, that's all your hair. yes, granddad. Yes, granddad.
You need a haircut, boy.
No, he actually never, surprisingly, because my grandfather was an older man. I think my oldest aunt or uncle.
He thought about it.
Actually, DJ could probably help me out with this, but I think my oldest aunt or uncle is in their 70s.
Oh,
currently. So yeah, but yeah, outside of that old man, only white people have ever. And sure, like, what do you mean? Why would you assume? Yes, I know it looks different. I know it looks different, but that's because it's done in a different style.
Right. It's different.
That's why it looks different.
They don't all,
because it is different.
They don't all look like the dreads on the guys in that Steven Seagal movie.
Bruh.
They don't.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
I mean,
like, no, what do you mean? This is always. It's just me.
They don't all
like
look like Robert Singleton's in the. Who was that fucking movie? What was the name of that fucking movie? The Mighty Quinn. They don't all look like it's in the Mighty Quinn.
Like, bro, I've been growing my hair since I was 13.
So after you left Kenya?
No. The last year I was there.
Oh,
the last year I was there, they because the first year I was there, it was on it. No, we getting haircuts every week. Blah 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 blah. The second year,
they didn't give a fuck.
It was like, no, go ahead.
Do what you gonna do.
Well, it wasn't the whole year. It was like halfway through the year. They was like, hey, if y'all want to start growing your hair out, that's fine.
Did you ever, when you was there, I don't know if they was doing that day. So you did get to be around the Maasai warriors, right? Did you ever get one of their robe thingies?
No. But I did something that a lot of people.
I got one sitting right there on that damn ottoman.
Oh shit! I did get to see them jump in person.
So you got to see them touch the bottom of the moon, and then, nigga, they jump. Yo, that jump is not for play. And you got to see it in person. See, I've only seen it in video, and it be looking crazy in video.
They can jump over humans from standing,
and they're not even trying hard. From what I see in that video, they wasn't putting much effort into it.
It was the craziest shit to see in person. Like, yo. It was that type of thing. Like, yo, what is happening? But so I've been growing my hair since I was 13. I had my hair locked since I was 18. So it's been almost 20 years. that my hair has been locked. This is the first time I call in. So there are legitimately people at the job that were like, I've known you for 17 years.
You were a kid.
And I've never seen you with your hair out. And then there are the people, I hate when people do this, but she's one of my peoples, so it's not as bad. But I hate when people do that shit where they do they assume familiarity. Like she's like, because it's been so long since I seen you without your hair locked. Man, you have never
seen me
with my hair not locked.
Yeah.
I did not know you before I locked my hair.
Oh, she had a dream once, and you
like I locked my hair the last year of high school. Like, what do you? Actually, no, I wasn't even in high school. It was after I graduated is when I decided to lock it. So, like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Like, so yeah, that's been the whole thing. And then the thing that it's not a black and white thing. It's not a you knowing me or not thing. It's just people not being educated. I did not cut my hair.
Yeah,
my hair is still long. It's just that my texture of my hair, number one, it's not as heavy anymore.
And then that perm that you had the other day, that shit
the fuck up. No, it's just that my hair is not as heavy as it was, so it doesn't just stay elongated. It curls. My hair's curly. So
man's the elongated man.
So yeah, because there were several people asking. No, I get it. Like that, the fake hair thing is funny to me. The cutting my hair thing is funny to me. Like none of it. The only thing that annoyed me was her touching my fucking hair. I don't. I do not like you
grabbing my.
We aren't cool. Don't touch. Like you corrected such and such. Cool. Mm-hmm. But that was less about me because you have locks too.
Yeah, that's all that was. That wasn't.
Yeah, like that wasn't really about.
Yo, can you imagine? Like, if I don't fuck with somebody, they know already,
bruh.
So the last thing you would know is to not put your fucking branch grippers on me at all in any sort of way. Now she probably didn't get the hand grab, fingers broke, judo flip over the shoulder because it's a woman. Right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a woman. But don't
a whole different story.
Your motherfucking hands. Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape. Look at this late ass.
We about to sign off.
You about to sign out. This nigga. Yo. This nigga. Something else, yo. Something else.
Ridiculous. But yeah, so yeah, for those that don't know, been curious, been asking questions. No, I did not cut my hair. Yes, my locks are out. No, it was not fake hair. That doesn't even make any sense. Mm-hmm. If you look at the hair, first of all, how would I have? Never mind. Whatever. Regardless, because y'all don't know what y'all talking about. So
you wouldn't have known anyway. The other person, the white person that said that, a lot of them wouldn't have known because that's not shit that they, typically fuck with. He just wanted to say hi.
Oh, love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
But yeah, so that's it. Yeah, that's it.
We would like to thank all of you, including Adequate, for joining us,
especially
Adequate, for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Your continued participation in our show is why our show is probably going on its 8th year, possibly.
Maybe. You
understand? We appreciate that. Also, do not forget to check out my sister, his significant others, Chrissy's YouTube, mostly YouTube, but it's also on Facebook, right?
Yeah, it's on Facebook, and it's other. I think I don't know if she's been consistent with it, but she also uploads into the other non-video.
Oh, got you. So go check that out. But I believe that they did their last one for the year, didn't they? Or they got another one?
I think they're gonna do another one.
They're gonna do another one.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's on the schedule downstairs. I looked at it, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
Right. And don't forget to check out Super Side Guy and my guy Hendrix, Metas and Mutants podcast as well. Not sure if they're doing a season ender or not. Not sure what's going on with that. And also remember, there is always music.
We just talked about some of it.
There's always music. You can find it anywhere your favorite music is streamed.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be there. At
Thanks.
least I will for now. And do not forget, of course, Majestic Comics. If you have not already gone and picked up your issue, the newest issue is out on majesticcomic.shop. Issue 2, which is actually issue 3 because we started at issue 0. It's a whole thing. Shattered Alliance, the digital copy version that is available now in the store.
Yeah.
Physical copies will be coming probably next month at some point. But first they have to go out to our Kickstarter supporters, and then they'll end up in the store. Right. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out. That's another year in the back pocket.
Peace.